Welcome everybody to Torneo de la Honestidad 6, number 6 of the Tournament of Honesty here on Just Frame MX, and it is some good old-fashioned KOFXV that we've got for you on this beautiful Saturday night, and taking you through all of the high-octane action is going to be me, Zoma, alongside Sammy Fisher right above me. How are we doing?
How's it going? It's going great, man. I'm really excited to be asked to be back on this because they're always just super fun tournaments each and every time. And what's a great way? You have a winter break, you can slid on back, watch some Just Frame SNK action all weekend. It's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. And getting the word from production before the stream that this is right now having the most entrants out of every game this weekend. Of course, we had Sam's show yesterday. We've got Fatal Fury tomorrow, but KOF is all Saturday. This is today. Today is KOF's day, and everybody is showing out for it. We got over 70 plus, and my God, if you take a look at the names that are in that 70 plus, it is a shark-infested water over here.
Yeah, it's been a really good time for, I think, all of SNK games, man. Where we just got done with I would say the big tour, and as we got along, for some reason or another, there's a lot of just people playing City of the Wolves, a lot of people playing KOF15 right now, playing Sam Show 7. I mean, since Art of Fighting 3 got added towards the very end, people are now just playing it like randomly, like I mean not randomly, but like because it got reintroduced into the world tour for 2026. But I mean, like, man, what a time. This is like this. Yeah. I never expected this to be for SNK games, but here we are.
Absolutely not. I was just thinking about it before the bracket. I was like, man, this might be the banner year for SNK in terms of success and how it's grown its popularity for a lot of its titles, KOF especially. And like I said, with SWC happening, we had the set of all sets to cap off what was one of the best fighting game tournaments that I've ever seen. And I was so happy to be a part of that in person. But it was just so much fun. And you could feel how much passion people had for this game. And I think a lot of people who were from the outside looking in saw that and just said, you know what? This is something that I need to be a part of. Now I'm getting the official count. We are at 97. I said 70 plus. Gross understatement of the amount of people. Almost hit that 100, but appreciate everybody who's tuned out or tuned in to watch all 97 people throw down. We've got 4 whole pools to get through, and we're gonna get underway here soon. But Sammy, I know that you've taken a look at a gander at the names here. You were here last year when we had a pretty stacked bracket as well, but I feel like it might have gotten a step up this year. It might have taken a step up somehow.
Maybe it's partly because everybody's they're post-Christmas, still in winter break, everybody's got a little bit of extra time, but you're not wrong. There's a lot of really, really good faces here for King of Fighters 15. I'm really excited to see it because I think, as you said, like last time, when we went down to the nitty-gritty, we went down to those top spots, and we did see some of the best matches that we saw all year. And the
team, Boomcube, another person who's kind of stuck with the same core of characters, the protagonists in Kyo, K, and Benimaru. So we will see what they do up against the protag of Art of Fighting in Ryo Sakazaki, slowly marching them down here, getting that A Fireball Ender, looking for these stand CDs, but nothing doing. Get the first hit though, but nothing much after that. Oh no.
Yeah, gonna go for the mix there, say same side. Already got him in the corner. This is exactly where Boomcube wants the Ryo.
All right. Stand CD gonna hit. Gotta know that the shoulder check is coming. That leather jacket does have a little bit of heat to it, and the flames are burning for Boomcube here early with a hot start, taking out Ryo Sakazaki and having a full health bar after winning the point war.
Ah, man, I didn't know Boomcube was in the tournament. This is such a treat. I actually love watching him play because he just has such a solid style and such a great read on his opponent at all times. And we're going to see how far this goes. Once again, has Tony in the corner. Great guard cancel back roll and gets the throw, switches up the situation.
Get the 1-frame command grab after the guard cancel. Very good tool to get yourselves out of dodge because of otherwise bad defense from Shermie, having to bet on that reversal command grab there and gonna get a lot of positioning and damage after the fact. Gonna just go right into the 214 AC. Gonna put them right in the corner. Don't get the best Oki, but you've already taken a huge chunk off of Kyo's life bar.
Oh, the chase down with the Rekkas. Still an opportunity for Boomcube to make something big with it, but the infamous Shermie 2C able to close it out in tying up the round count.
Yep, the French woman, JCD, all of them have it except for one, Betty Blantorch, but she's not here. It's all Shermie all the time right now, but another pink plaid warrior in K-Dash is going to emerge on the scene. Probably Boomcube's most notable character, very, very strong with this, or as a representative of K-Dash, trying to slowly march Shermie into an uncomfortable position in the corner up against plus frames on plus frames if we can get going.
Oh, gonna go in. Tough pressure, nice roll away from the jump CD. Tried to chase down with the minute spike, but this lead from Boomcube, the little bit of delay gets the hit and cleans it up. All of that momentum just piling on top of Tony and taking that round.
Yep, it's all a bit about creating opportunities, and it's just not letting Shermie have any of her own. You were mentioning with Kyo how they got to chase down using that Rekka, just finding times to slowly inch their way in on their opponent, not giving up too much ground, knowing full well what will happen if they can keep parlaying that screen positioning game into an advantageous situation. But advantage for Benimaru Nikaido coming out at anchor for Tony, and a big JB jump in. Not gonna get a ton of damage here, but it's gonna add up if we can keep winning these interactions. Oh, but no, we roll all through.
And Boomcube won't mind these spends on guard cancel rolls because they do have the meter lead on top of the character lead. So every one of these neutral situations where they both spend the same amount are both advantageous for, are more advantageous for Boomcube when he has the lead.
Yep, for sure. Keeping them locked down here. Ein trigger. Let's keep up the pressure, keep up the damage, and this should be enough damage to win the first game, and it is. K-Dash coming in, a beast of prey, looking to prey on the competition here early. Up 1-0 up against Tony. Came in and just did the damn thing.
Yeah, that lead that Boomcube got from Kyo definitely helped a ton, because even though the Shermie kind of evened it up, just having that resource lead on the meter helped so much, and it just made it really difficult to make that comeback. So I think this point war here definitely asking a little bit more from Mario. I think that might make the difference here for Tony.
All right, yeah, it was a very dominant display by Kyo the first time around, but right now, gonna get them with the forward throw. Safe jump, just keep them really safe, really vanilla offense here. But again, slowly pushing Kyo into the corner, taking a little bit of a page out of Boomcube's book. Tony trying to do the same with Rio, but Boomcube finding a good time to jump back in and get Rio towards the right side of the screen.
Oh, unfortunately got caught on the air flip after the 2A, so Tony cashes out on some good damage there, but gets hit. Tried to catch the back roll there, a little too far for the far D, but Boomcube finds the hit. We're Kyo in the corner. This is where dreams happen.
Oh, but what's happening is that JCD, and we get the full conversion too. Fantastic counter hit conversion there from Ryo Sakazaki on the air-to-air JCD hit. Gonna be able to cash out with the EX Tatsu and get all of the damage that we could on that pickup. So first time winning the point war here. And you said on the onset that could be huge for their momentum.
Yeah, Rio, you know, kind of like Ángel, like when you put him on point, he can kind of steamroll the game just because he's such a wall. He takes a little lead, asks the opponent to start coming in on him, and then the game becomes so difficult for the opponent. Pick it up. Yes.
Love to see that. Right back at you with the JCD confirms. You got counter hit confirmed, so do I. I can see through these crimson shades, and I can see you bleeding of the same hue. But here comes Shermie, the crimson-haired demon herself. We'll see if the child of Orochi can teach K-Dash a little bit of something like they did, or that K-Dash did to her in the last game. Oh my God.
Tony's getting a lot of mileage after that forward B, just running the mix, whether they go for that quarterback AC or going for a jumping CD. A lot of that just putting the pressure on Boomcube. Finds the hit here with the 2B. Mix. Nice crosscut DP.
All right, forward throw. Keep Shermie pinned down. That's got to be the MO in this matchup. But again, that guard cancel into the command grab has been so good. And it's even better when you can get the EX version so you can cash out and link all of these specials together. Not going to be quite enough to kill, but you can just run up, get the forward throw, German suplex a la Chad Gable. And we are not American made, but French made as we go on to the next character and Benimaru. The first time the anchor Benimaru is coming out on the part of Boomcube.
3 bars here, so definitely can do the damage versus Shermie, but what happens afterwards is the big question mark. So first hurdle, time to clear it, as Shermie has been a real good wall. No confirm, missed the super cancel, unfortunate. Tony will take that to the bank.
All right, that JCD, keeping Benimaru locked down in the corner, giving yourself that wall potential that you need up against Benny. That JD has been doing a lot of work in neutral and retreating fashion, but we get it on the jump in a clean hit. Gonna be able to cash out and get the game. Shermie gonna win it on the mid position, much like K-Dash did in the first game. But here we go, Orochi's children doing some work here.
Really goes to show how important that point war is. It definitely isn't everything. There's 3 characters for a reason, but taking that initial point war with a decent meter lead versus your opponent gives you such a great chance of success.
All right, trying to get that early momentum so we can replicate the success that we had in that first game. Tony ran away with it in the second. It's been all about the point characters, and right now it's all about Kyo after you caused the DP to whiff. Can we get the ambiguous to hit? No, good block by Tony. That could have been disastrous.
Yeah, I really like this sort of, I see this from a lot of Kyo players recently, is going very heavily for that reset more often than not. It's definitely uncommon, more uncommon in this game than it is in previous games, but I'm liking it a lot. And you see Boomcube, healthy lead here, all these little hits adding up after that combo.
Is he not overextending too much, recognizing that we do have a lot of time on the clock, we do have a good lead, but Tony's still gonna be able to find the hit. Oh no, not gonna be able to get the full brunt of the combo. That actually could have been a dead Kyo if we could have cashed out, but still, we're gonna find an opportunity to get the damage here. EX Tatsu into the Ranboom special, and that is going to be the point war taken away from Kyo. It seemed like it was all Kusanagi, but Sakazaki going to take the day.
However, the difference between every other match and this one is that Tony does not have anywhere near the meter that they did in the previous one, or Boomcube did in game 1. So if Boomcube can clear this pretty quickly, that can help for sure. Is that going to be enough? Yes, and that's exactly what I was looking for. Clear this quickly, get all the life back, and the meter difference a bar off, but not too bad.
Yeah, the big thing is just you don't want to make a mountain out of a molehill. You want to be able to just nip it in the bud, get the mid character out. Do not let Rio get any more extra credit. Make sure we have to do more work than she had to do in the last game. But she's getting the work done here early, as we've got an early health advantage on Kyo, just slowly getting these stray hits, but Boomcube still not out of it.
And you see Boomcube keeping Shermie's tools in mind, not trying to overextend with the iron triggers from full screen. Just kind of waiting for their moment, walking in behind fireballs. Nice check with that 5A. This is looking great so far as Boomcube walked them coast to coast, and Tony's only recourse has been these guard cancels until that great anti-air.
Wow, absolutely getting that 6-2-3 BD in the most clutch fashion possible, but now you do not have any meter to guard cancel, so this is where things get tough. Oh, but we jump over the 6A, get the clean JC to hit. Shermie finding a way out of the corner devoid of any defensive system mechanics, just a good old-fashioned KOF hop out, gonna get the job done. So now Benimaru gonna have to pop out, or else it's going to be Shermie running the block.
Yeah, similar situation to the first rounds of this game 3, but obviously with an anchor character, a lot less room to work with.
Oh my gosh, these anti-air command grabs have been so good. All right, we're tried to delay the tech so they wouldn't get hit, but still finding themselves in the gauntlet, trying to go into a delay, but good challenge there by Boomcube.
And that should be it. Closes it out. Shermie once again taking it for Tony's team, and we'll be moving on through the bracket.
Man, oh man, she came out to play for sure. It seemed gonna be played a little bit right here alongside Dolores. So this is a very interesting team here on the left up against some pretty competitively frequent characters on the right. So we'll see what happens here. Right now, Heidern is going to have to get the early lead taken right back. And a good way to do that is to set up the almighty guessing game, but good blocks.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen this matchup specifically, but definitely one of those that could be a little bit difficult for Gato. Just Heidern has such great tools to play outside of Gato's range. Nice roll away from the super, but still got the chase in afterwards. We're in the 50-50. Oh, got the low or got the hit afterwards, but wasn't able to compound it into anything big, and just the neutral becoming so difficult. And great chase down as well, catching that roll.
Yeah, early Boyko doing a really good job of just sensing that Levoyerie is trying to avoid any sort of pressure from Heidern, because it's a scary place to be in between the mix. Oh, just a rundown with the 2C as well to get past the pillar. Big old jumping buttons from Heidern as well, locking them down. Using that super as a way to extend pressure and crank the guard gauge. I actually do like this implementation, but I also like the anti-air going into the level 1, so now Dolores can fight on out of here.
Yeah, gonna get the Stormbringer and all favorite 50-50. Nice block. I don't even know what side that was on, but once again, using the super, extending the pressure. Nice anti-air.
Are we going to be able to take care of Heidern? Trying to look for the moon slash DP. Boyko not biting, but they still got caught low after a little bit of a waiting game. So Dolores able to tap the toes and get Ángel to come in at that mid position, but there's a lot of work that they have to do. EX Red Sky gonna make it a tougher task now, and we get it over on the other side, the cross up. It's a mid now, guys. I don't know why you don't block it.
It is a mid, but it is, it's still got a great hitbox, and it definitely sometimes, if you do it at ranges like that, can throw you for a loop on what side it's gonna land on. So gonna get a hit once again, and with all this meter, not usually something we see from Ángel. She's normally a point character, but has some counters to boot, can have some good uses for that meter. Oh, well, Antonov, speaking of good uses of meter, can explode the opponent with a chance.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we talk about what Ángel does when they get a bit of a chance. Antonov can do that if they get a nice clean hit, but we're gonna see the opposite happen right here. Gonna be able to get on out of dodge, but oh, with a jump back, Boomcube! Oh my god, the fadeaway jumper, the Dirk Nowitzki of all things, looking like a damn maverick as we're balling out and forcing Isla to come on in here. Anchor on anchor action here in game 1.
One more opportunity, but the big thing for Antonov is that meter turns into damage. A little low on that this time around, so he needs to find that last hit. EXTP though. Wait a minute. Super. Is that gonna be enough? One more. The empty jump throw.
Oh! Jump back, JB! Just stick out the leg in the air, meet them up there before they can even think about trying to go for the cross-up. I love that. I love that. Just deny them the opportunity to get started, because it seemed like Isla had a chance, but a little bit of fundies after just some excruciatingly big damage. Antonov gonna win it for Galaxy Anton Wrestling and Levoyerie in round 1.
God, that was crazy. Usually Antonov is the type of character that wants to go into the anchor ahead because of that big damage, right? He wants to hit you once and end the whole game, but man, was able to make a great comeback with some clutch decision making. But once again, Boyko starting off strong. This was a good start for them in the previous game. Let's see how much farther they can take this one.
Yep, no cross up this time, just keeping the same side. Every time we went cross up, they did block it, so just gonna vary it up there on the 50-50, but still meeting them at the pass. Oh, finally gonna get the cross ups to hit. A lot of these straight hits, but not converting though. Maybe giving Levoyerie and Gato too many chances because they can run away with it.
This is one of the things that Gato definitely still has, that great damage in the corner with minimal resources. Gets a big jump in once again, is gonna be able to close it out. Clutch combos necessary for Levo to take it after a healthy start from the Heidern.
Man, oh man, I was saying all of those hits were hitting, but they weren't cashing out on them, and they gave Gato too many chances, and they really made sure that they made him pay. Oh, just running down before they could even think about doing EX Red Sky to get on in there. Gato keeping up the momentum, but denied at the pass. You shall not pass go. The level 1 counter from Ángel.
That's something you're not going to expect versus Ángel, right? She's normally a point character, doesn't use a lot of meter usually, but you're seeing her on second here. She has a little bit more resources.
Alrighty, let's keep this offense going up against Dolores. Again, a character that does not like being put into a situation like this. Doesn't have a DP, can't really bet on anything really to get on out of here. And Ángel really going to make sure to leverage that to its fullest. It seems like Dolores did not have even a second to breathe, to collect air. And we are going to collect on that health bar. The taxation complete, but now Antonov is going to have to show some representation here at Anchor once again.
Oh no, tried it on the DP to start, and this is not where you want to be. Ángel getting that ball rolling, misses the ender of the combo though. Now question here, yeah, I was gonna wonder whether you wanted to spend it early or late, because we got a long road ahead of us.
Yeah, especially if you can get another clean hit on Isla, if you're able to get rid of Ángel without spending too many resources, that could be huge for your comeback. But again, you got to get rid of the Ángel first, and you have meter to make that far D scary, but the EX Res guy to go right underneath it is a really good way to navigate through that zone. But we navigate with the corner steal and able to get the red level 2 after that. So Ángel going to answer the challenge of Antonov, and we're going to game 3 and winners round 3.
You know, so normally I like to say Ángel is optimally a point character, just because she likes when other people don't have resources, so less options versus her offense. Very high damage floor, incredibly high damage floor. Like, she can spend so little resources and get so much damage on anywhere on the screen. But the one thing I hadn't thought about playing her in second is that EX Red Sky at all opportunities is such a threat. Like, you can't ever think that you're safe versus this character.
Oh yeah, absolutely not. I was thinking that during the first game, and I think Levoyerie, as we get the really good advantage here with Gato up against Heidern, they snuffed that out with Gato, but just couldn't quite do it with the other 2 characters because they're not quite as adept at being able to stuff that red sky quickly. But yeah, once she does get that meter, she becomes very deadly, both on defense and in neutral. So a couple of added phases to her game plan, but Heidern good on that offensive side when they get the momentum going after getting that Stormbringer. Got the low tap, but again, not going to be able to collect on these hits.
Oh, another jump in for Levo has been the reason why he's been able to make those comebacks. Just clutch timing on that jump B, and time again, it's been the Gato making these big comebacks.
You cannot corner a cat and expect them to not fight back, and you got to be able to kill them once you have them pinned down. These stray hits, man, Heidern is getting the opportunities but not getting the full benefit of them. So Levoyerie doing a really good job making them pay, and they're definitely gonna make you pay for not blocking high. Nice little lazy JB jump in right there. Big damage. Oh, you want to talk about the high damage floor, my goodness.
Oh god, yeah, this character just still excels at point for that reason specifically. Another EX Red Sky gonna clean it up here underneath the 42-second mark, unfortunately, so only 250 health back, but we are putting ourselves in a better position. And remember what happened in that previous game? It was basically one-touch death for Boyko on the Ángel. Let's see if we can get that going again.
All right, trying to get right out of the range of the EX Red Sky, but you're never out of range of Ángel. It might not hit right there, but she's still gonna pin you down after the fact. Oh, the JB counter hit, gonna get the link afterwards with the 5A as well. Once again, just a normal JB hit. Can we cash out here? No, we're gonna keep her alive.
Yeah, that's a little scary versus this character, but not too greedy on the meter usage. Spends it on the guard cancel, roll out, and gets the kill.
Man, I was about to be so mad too, because I was like, look, that's the reason why Gato lived. Do not let them get another second on that screen, otherwise they will make you pay. But we do get out of dodge with Isla. Gonna have to dodge all of these earthly pillars from Dolores, her teammate. We'll see what happens here. Good throw break.
Yeah, definitely gonna have to pace themselves with this meter. Isla can do it, that's why she's a fantastic anchor, but gonna get started strong here. Level already taking 50%.
All right, looking for that far C. Those 2C's been with him as well, throwing out that heavy punch button, seeming to try to get any sort of advantage, but we're still being able to march Dolores into the left side of the screen. But we just run up and just say, what are you trying to do chasing me down? I'll come to you. You want to have a talk. Let's have a discussion. Let's talk about it. Dolores, the unlikely hero of the set, going to close it out for Levoyerie, 2-1. He is not exempt from that rule either, but on the other side of things, Shun'ei coming in at point. One of the, I would love to say that a lot of people value him as the best point character next to Duelon currently because of what he can do to get that advantage state going, but Yashiro is a character that can really do a good job of playing at that pace.
Yeah, amongst the highest tier point characters at the minimum, I would agree for sure, because I think in that tier as well is Yashiro, right? Just we see him on point and deal hefty damage with the meter usage. Stamp of approval, tried to go for it double, but couldn't get it. Juan gets out of there, and you don't want to give Shun'ei a chance.
Absolutely not. That's why we're trying to get our way on out of there. In the big JD, Orochi, blessed air normals. We love them as Yashiro. We love them. And that's why we're going to play him and force the mirror. Juan said, I like what you're cooking with that, man, but I'm coming out with the green jacket. Let's see if we can keep our health bar green and take yours down to red, much like your pants.
Yeah, interesting to see the difference between playing point and second. I want to see, hopefully, some meter efficient usage on the side of Juan KOF's second Yashiro, but Cyborg trying their best not to give them a big opportunity here. Reset on those plus frames, get the roll timing really well, and we are seeing it right there, going for the double EX combo that does a little bit more damage and then tacking on the super.
My goodness gracious, yeah, get the OTG as well, keep them locked down. Even though you have the DP, it's very tough to guess on Yashiro offense. It is very tough to get out of the corner because much like Hyo did at the onset of the bracket, the shoulder check stand CD from Yashiro is a really good tool to keep people in the corner trying to find their way on out of there, because dash blocking is not really a thing in this game, so it's a really good stay in there tool that's being leveraged by Juan.
Yeah, runs are big commits in this game. You know, you'll run into a button, especially if they're a Yashiro button. That tends to happen more often than not. But Juan trying to get Cyborg in the corner, but he's been doing really well to get him all the way here, get the cash out. No, not quite. No counter hit, so he just keeps the pressure going.
Oh, trying to bank on the running bear grab, but just a little bit out of the range. Juan just nickel and diming against Oyash, trying to find a way on out of there. Stick out that big 5B, why don't you? Because we do love throwing that button around as Yashiro, because it'll just pay the bills for us, and it's definitely gonna be rewarded for cashing out right there. The quick max confirmed to get rid of Oyash and force Ralf in at anchor.
Yeah, now here's the big scary thing, right? We got Cyborg on the Ralf, almost 5 bars. One touch is death instantaneously. How much can we mitigate that? How much can we build meter for our anchor character? That's the name of the game right now. Oh, no, we're dead. Never mind. And this is a problem. Cyborg got away with this with only spending 1 bar. We got Ralf 4 bars going into anchor. That's scary.
That's literally stray hit, neutral interaction win into soft knockdown into if I win the next interaction, you're dead. That's literally what's at stake for Juan right here. But same could be said for Isla, who has 3 bars to their own name. Could throw up that far C, get a good hard knockdown. Who almost walked right into the 2C, but just right out of range. This is a very dangerous game that we are playing right now.
Watch the guard bar. Ralf does that really well. He cranks that bar really good. And Juan KOF felt the pressure from the guard bar, wristed on the DP, and is going to eat so much damage for it.
Oh my gosh, a million punches, and cool guys do not look at explosions. Walk away, but it's not quite enough to kill. I saw people in chats wondering if they should throw rock or not. If you press no, you would have been correct, but she was not alive for too much longer after that. Ralph Jones, my goodness gracious, had all the meter in the world. And y'all see, I mean, we were talking about it. It was just 1 interaction and then you're dead after that, man.
And that would have killed, by the way, if he didn't start with 2A2A. If he got a legit like 2C starter or something like that, he was just kind of in the moment, kind of panicked, wanted to make sure without a shadow of a doubt that he was going to connect it. But he starts with any other button that kills 100%. So I mean, like he kind of got away with it to a degree, but closed it out really well. And you know, that's the threat of the character. That's why he brings big damage to the table.
Yeah, that's what you put him back there for. I mean, he does have a good way, like you were saying, cranking that guard bar, especially at that point position where you don't have access to a lot of ways to get on out of there. So being able to crank that up, especially against characters like Duolon, who we're seeing for the first time on the part of Juan, doesn't necessarily have a meterless TP to get on out of things. So having him at point would be pretty good in that aspect. But if you have him at that anchor and you give a mouse a cookie, if you give Ralf meter, you see what happens.
It's actually like prime example of how meter changes game plans in Kengo Fighters, right? How different a Ralf point is from a Ralf anchor. But Ralf's second this time around, Juan KOF switching it up to the Duolong, actually was one of the very early adopters of this character, but even before the balance patch.
Yeah, true. This is when Duolon was considered by some people to be non-functional. Still stuck with him though, because maybe just had a bit of a loyalty to previous iterations of the character. But either way, definitely going to be paid off right now. Duolon, a very strong character. Talking about Shun'ei, how good they are at that point spot. Now going to get a little bit of that same value here with Duolon, and you're seeing it here early. Really strong start, but now pinned up against the corner. This is the tough spot that Duolon does not like being in.
Yeah, tried to bet it on the rush punch there, didn't work out, but Cyborg, stamp of approval, double it up. Goes low that time. Nice block from Juan. Guard cancels for the momentum. Not gonna give him an opportunity to take that little bit of life. And Cyborg completes the comeback.
Oh man, yeah, I was just like, yeah, he was doing so well, but the second that you got to block Yashiro, that is quite literally when the matchup just goes to the wayside, and you saw it right there. Yashiro just running over them and keeping the ball running down the hill, keeping the train running down the tracks. Advanced strike. Juan KOF got to find a way to get on out of here. Maybe get a DP, get something, because right now this Yashiro is going crazy, but we'll do it a little bit on our end, just put a stop to that before it gets too out of hand. But a lot of extra credit done by the Yashiro in red.
All right, we got Ralf to make the deficit. I think the big problem is that although that Cyborg comeback was great, it was expensive. He is down a little bit on meter here, so if Cyborg can get this kill without having to worry about Juan's 3 bars, it could be a big deal. But oh my god, we're playing Ring Around the Rosie, another roll in the corner, and Juan's the one who comes out on top.
Yeah, we've seen Juan go into that wheelhouse a ton so far on that defensive end, not opting to go for a guard cancel roll, but just trying to find a raw roll in between pressure reset situations. But now Cyborg gonna have to find a way to roll it out of there, which they do, but gets hit by the Mexican breakdance right there. The sweep from Yashiro, looking for the cabbage patch, but again, just running right into the good old bust it down right there, Yashiro style. The sweep the leg gonna work out.
Right, scripts flipped a little bit now. Juan KOF had to spend a lot of meter to close out that round versus Cyborg, and got Oyash with 3 bars. Definitely good amount to try to close it out. See how much Juan can take before that happens. Woo. Spends 1, that should be enough.
Look at him, now look at me, now look at him, look back to me. He looks like me, but he is not me. I wave my hands because I am a grappler with nefarious intentions. The awakened Orochi going to take it right there. All in the hands of Cyborg, potentially to be the set with a 2-0 victory. That's why Isla's gonna have to come in, use a couple of hands from Amanda to make sure that this does not get out of hand if Oyash can keep the momentum going. But right now they've got a chance here with the advanced strike plus frames to keep Isla in the corner.
Guard bar is a bit of a problem here. Cyborg trying to press that advantage. Guard cancel, gets the far B max mode. Cash out? No, just gonna go for the damage. The chase down on the back roll, very nice.
Oh, just got the level 1, so a couple of added, or a couple hundred added damage right there. Not gonna be quite enough to kill. Plus frames right there, guessing game after the fact, but we find a way to roll on out of there. Trying to look for a re-establish ourselves on offense, but we were just ready with that 5B. That was the story of game 2, and it is a 2-0 victory because of the stanky leg from Orochi Yashiro, awakening themselves at the right time to get the clean sweep.
And I'm really liking what I'm seeing so far from Sombra on the Dolores as well, playing 3 characters with great neutral control. Let's see how this one goes.
Oh no, but neutral be darned, we get the punish right there. Just a little bit too handsy for your own good after sending out the hurricane up. We're gonna be able to get the punish with the back throw, but return to neutral, nothing too bad right here. And yeah, like you were saying, Joe, a very good character in terms of being able to establish the pace of the game. I think very underrated in that aspect when he comes in that point, being able to just really set the pace of the game at will, unlike a lot of other characters can.
Yeah, I mean, best fireball in the game. Great DP to match that sort of fireball game. Good damage if he ever gets the opportunity as well. And you're seeing it right here, that control-based play that we know Sombra for working out, but Rosa finds a hit. Wait a minute.
Alrighty, let's play a little bit of a guessing game. The crossbody not going to cross up. Good blocks, but still going to be able to get the hit after the fact. EX extensions, not going to be quite enough to kill. Ah, nope, I lied. We get the flying knee press right to the chest, and that is going to crush a windpipe and crush any hope of Joe's dreams of winning that point war. Ramon and El Rosa getting off to a really good start in that point war.
Oh, round throw. See if Sombra can control the pace here. Does have an opportunity to kill. Does he want to spend it? Yes. Easy peasy for him. And he's going to go into the next round. Good position. As I mentioned before, sometimes it is good to spend to kill, but it could put you at a meter deficit. And that might be a problem going into the next round. Let's see if El Rosa can make up the difference.
Oh man, but we get the couple of hits, or a couple of early interactions to put Dolores in the corner. And I mentioned before when we saw her on stream, Dolores' defense, not the best. How did that command grab hit? Excuse me?
He's big. He's big, but I wager that he actually pressed a button into it, unfortunately.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, man. But here we go. Still not out of it yet. Swiping the tail with that stand CD. Another really good space control button. But Sombra and Dolores have a really good way of trying to play outside of those ranges, but doing a good job cutting them off at the pass with that command normal. We're going to be able to get the level 1 here. Nah, not going to do any of the tricky stuff.
Yeah, gonna close it out with the meter to boot. Sombra just above that 30-second mark, getting a good bit of health and going into that next round versus the Oyash.
All right, flavor of grappler still going to be on the menu. The soup du jour for El Rosa for sure. Trying to find their way in here. And of course, we're jumping in with the JA. Are you kidding me? I'm Oyash. I only know one thing, and it's disgusting.
Oh, high, low, nope, it's throw. He's gonna attack on the level 1.
No.
Is that gonna be enough?
It
no,
scales.
just short. Yeah. Throw scaling's a big deal in this game, definitely. El Rosa, 2 good Ogi situations in a row, closes it out for the Oyash, and we're at an anchor war.
Yeah, but this is the star character, the star on the jacket for a reason. Sombra known for that Terry Bogard rising tackle and trying to rise through the ranks in this anchor war. Burning Knuckle trying to keep them in the corner. I don't know why I said Buster Wolf, but either way, we are saying some big damages up the plate. Power Geyser, EX rising tackle. Look at that conversion.
Yeah, that was fantastic damage. Guard cancel once again. Sombra trying to close it out, but Rosa scrambles out of a bad situation.
Oh.
Wait a minute. No, was able to close it out. Great press with that close C. Sombra gonna take it on the back of a fantastic Terry combo. What incredible meter usage there. That was like a weird spacing, but Sombra knew it perfectly.
Yeah, it was actually, there was a lot of really good situational awareness that they had with Terry going down the stretch. Number one, that conversion, but also the spatial awareness in that closing, those closing interactions was really, really heads up. That's a really great note by you, Sammy.
Yeah, it's and those moments definitely is a make or break, a win or lose, right? That's the difference between El Rosa feeling like he has like 150, 200 health to play, or he has, you know, that, what was it, like 30, 40, and he has to scramble, use meter on guard cancels, feels like everything is going to be a death threat. So I mean, that's a huge play from Sombra there, closing it out. As we do see the switch up, still grappler flavored, but a little bit different, going for the Clark on the anchor.
Yep, and also switching Oyash to the front. So not believing in the KOD at the point. I understand it because I feel like a lot of people would say that Clark is stronger as a grappler in this version of KOF and pretty much throughout the entire lifespan. But we'll see if they have an idea of what they can do up against Terry, because they really just ran away with it. Maybe just feel like Clark is a character that can contest at a range that maybe they just don't feel comfortable with doing as Oyash. I'm not sure.
Guard bar is a big threat here. Took the hit on the jump D. Oh, the DP. He knows it. Ooh, what a grip out of there.
Oh my God.
Ooh. Wasn't sure if they got there in time, so didn't want to risk it on pressing a button and maybe getting DP'd again.
Oh man, that JA almost hit too, but couldn't quite catch the Hurricane Upper. Like you said, one of the best fireballs in the game for a reason. The vertical reach on that, denying that jump and attempt from Oyash. Oh, that could have been big right there, but just not quite ready for the punish. But yep, just setting up that wall with that JCD. Joe, again, going to be able to set the pace properly.
A pinnacle display of how guard bar can affect your opponent, and you're seeing it used really well on Sombra's Joe here. We're gonna see it maybe again. Already El Rosa's Ramon down to 40-50%, trying to get out of this corner.
Oh, just out of range of the extension, but gonna be able to get it here because El Rosa tried to get on out of dodge. But like we said, running is a commitment, and they ran into a 5A from Joe, just ready to reset after the unfortunate drop. Oh, looking for the chase with the Higashi kick.
You see him keeping the pressure up as he's going along. He knows that guard bar is forcing El Rosa to do something, and he took so much damage. The DP super to close it out. Sombra with clinical play of pressure versus El Rosa, who's now on his anchor.
Yep, and very much rewarding that great play with the $20 donation by Boss via the match Rino. Thank you very much for your contribution. And Joe making sure that that money is not going to waste, because we are spending some big money here, potentially on the corner conversion, but unfortunately gonna not be able to get that conversion once again. That's the second time that's happened, but out of a drop, there's an opportunity, baby.
Yeah, really trying to maximize the damage off of that very unique hit, but El Rosa going to take advantage of this situation. The Clarkening going to start. No, DP super blows through the armor. Overhead. Oh, a little out of range. Slash kick, we're out of there. The roll on the fireball, but still had time to jump. And Sombra on the Joe OCV going to take a 2-0 over El Rosa.
Oh man, the Tyrese Gibson Ejectocito, the most expensive get out of jail free card I've ever seen.
KOF has a kind of an anti-top tier character, which has been pretty fun to watch. And top tiers on the side of Bart for sure. Benny, Rio, Sylvie, all great characters.
Yeah, I see Spartan in chat, so I know that they have to be loving what they're seeing right here. Galaxy Anton, Wrestling's mascot right here, and the armored grab. Get a little bit of plot armor because we are the team's favorite currently. Big old claws to combat the range that Benimaru is trying to play at as well. And 5B, a button that's very underrated.
Oh yeah, this character's slow, but chock full of strong buttons. Great read there on that jump from Bart. Gonna give him some space, but not too far away from the corner as he's showing off that 5 CD.
Oh, nice DP to prevent any more corner offense from King of Dinosaur. The Llama Master still mastering the point war and going to be able to take it with the command grab, because why not? Start it with the command grab, end it with the command grab. This is King of Dinosaurs we're talking about.
Yeah, this character's buttons are so big that 2A goes so far. A lot of armor on different buttons. Great jump-ins. Definitely gonna need something like Rio, a good DP, in order to deal with that pretty consistently.
Oh yeah, try to get out of the wreck-it, but we go into that third hit, get the hard knockdown as well. That guessing game could be really rewarding for KOD if they can condition the opponent to try to fight back after that second swipe. You go to that third swipe, you can still get that hard knockdown, keep them knocked down, and keep that vortex going. And you're seeing how much it pays off, because you could actually be dead here. Nah, not quite yet. Oh no!
Ooh, yeah, and we're gonna spend the meter to close this out. Yeah, yes, that's mainly. Yep. Oh my god! That was insane!
Like, so long on both parties' part, and I couldn't. Oh, that was a hairy situation I've ever seen one. But here comes Galaxy Anton Wrestling's other character in Ramon right now, and just flying across the screen, but just a good old ground and normal there to cap off the round up against Rio. So he's gonna come in at that mid spot, one eye, but still got two arms to strong arm the competition up against Sylvie coming in. Oh, but we just flying on in there with 2 feet.
Round start EX dropkick is definitely something you have to worry about. Goes to the reset with the 5A. Do it again? No. Ooh, got him out of the air off the top rope. Safe jump. Look for delay. Nice block afterwards, by the way. But Bart has an opportunity here. Great conversion off the counter hit JCD.
Yeah, that's a big tool that Sylvie has, that JCD, to be able to stuff any jumps from Ramon, which is what he's going to do a lot. And you're seeing it right there in neutral, just meeting him in the air, being able to shrink your own hurtbox while sticking out that big a hitbox of your own. Really, really good stuff there. The French woman JCD, once again, paying off in droves on stream. We'll see what Antonov can do. Oh my God, we're just going to round star level 1. I know where you're going to be, lady.
What do you mean? What do you mean? He had 3. It's not like oh, he has 0. He doesn't have any meter. I'm not gonna. He had 3 bars. You would ate a lot of damage than Sylvie. Brother, what?
Look, if you are playing Antonov, you gotta be willing to bet it all on black. You gotta be ready to spin the wheel and hope that it lands on your number.
That was not betting it on black. That was betting it on double zeros. That was just like, let it ride.
Hey, but you win. You look like a genius. Everybody at the casino is just like, bro, drinks on you tonight. Drinks on you. Oh, man.
That's true.
That's beautiful.
I always say you're only as good as your last Twitch clip.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. Yeah, definitely. If you were in chat, make sure to clip that. Send it into the next Will It Kill if it happens. It will kill, of course, but I mean, they don't gotta know that. It's KOF.
Ooh, gonna get a conversion off of this one. Back into the corner. Where are you going? Oh, all right. Okay. God, man, it's you just feeling you are getting smothered into this. Oh, he was right. Oh, he was right. He was just too early.
You know what? There may not be a more fun team in KOF than when Galaxy Anton Wrestling gets rolling, because oh my God, dude, I did a TNS spot with Jobber and we saw G. Oh my God, dude,
that was so sick. Actually, that was actually so sick.
Oh, but yeah, he was unabashedly just rooting for JW the entire time, and now I'm up. I'm waking up.
Oh, definitely. You cannot sleep on this character. Oh, guard cancel. Is so done with this character. Didn't get the confirm. Oh, good jump away from the command grab. Could have been scary, but 42-second mark means full 300 back. It's going to put Rio back in a good position, but that meter deficit is the biggest problem. And Ramon. Oh, good read.
Okay, meeting the aggressive round start with the parry. Good stuff right there. Now meeting him up there with the JD, and we're in the corner, so we do get an extension, much like we would have in patches past and mid-screen, but now having that positioning really does pay off here. Into that JCD, keeping Ramon pinned down, trying to take him to the skies. Oh no, he has Tatsu on block. That is a bad way to give Ramon any bit of damage, because they were in a really tough spot otherwise.
Safe job. Oh, fireball is not what he wanted, or if it is, immediately jumped over. Llama Master looking good on the Ramon, but it is up to Bart Sylvie to put a stand here, there is not a lot of meter, so there's definitely an opportunity for a stable Sylvie game to go.
Yep, and the air-to-air was what really worked out in Sylvie's favor the last time these two met, so we'll see if we get it out there. But it was really good right there, the wall blocking, just to be able to wait out the drop kick from Ramon and be able to punish it. So the risk taken by Llama Master not going to work out there. Sylvie able to right the ship, but this is where things got really scary really fast. A very aggressive Antonov from Llama Master. Oh my god, no.
Yeah. I mean, it's still Sylvie. She can do a lot of damage here. Oh, level 2. Is that going to be enough? Yes, it is. It had one more hit afterwards to boot. Llama Master on the Antonov once again, closing it out for his team, taking it 2-0. Pass in this game. And let me say something good about Rock. His jump CD is so annoying. It still is, and that's what makes him it's so annoying, dude. And what makes him really good on point, because when you have less resources, dealing with a tool that's that difficult to deal with without meter to help you can hurt.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And I think that Rock being the anywhere character that he is, you get a lot of mileage out of that tool in a variety of different ways. But Pako, knowing that Duolon is one of the best point characters, knowing that they can take full advantage of getting any bit of momentum, gonna have to figure out ways to sort of keep Rock from getting to play that game. And doing a really good job right now after Rock got the early momentum, now keeping up the blender and the vortex after the fact. And you see it parlayed into a big point win.
Yeah, I want to mention that Pako actually went for a jump CD rather than a hop CD with Duolon, getting above Rock's jumps or hop CD and then getting the hit that way. That was a big deal. The great air footsies.
All right, Yuri coming on in here. A bit of a different flavor of character to try to pin down for Duolon the way that they could with other ones, but you see the adaptation so far against Rock. We'll see if we got it right there, but good use of the level 1 there to keep Yuri in check.
Caught the rollout, very nice. Spending on it too, wants to close it out. It will do so. Last hit necessary to take it with the Duolon. And this is what we love about the character on that point position. So much control, can take so much damage on the opponent. And now went into this last round healthier than the previous one.
Yeah, I was wondering, since Yuri was such a squirrely character, and you have an equally squirrely character in Iori, but just of a different kind, did they have the adaptability to be able to pin them down? But Iori is a different customer to be able to keep at bay, because right now he's just absolutely taking it to Duolon with that amazing ground speed. But once again, the level 1 defensively very strong from Duolon.
Yeah, it's not normally how you see the level 1s get spent on this character, especially on point, but he's using it really well there, and Dogor able to close it out with a great close C. Finally getting that Duolon out of there. And we'll see if the rest of the team can make up the difference. Leona coming up on board.
Very interesting. This is not a matchup you get to see a lot. Leona, of course, like you said, not necessarily getting her shine under the sun in really any version of the game, a character that you very rarely see. But Pako gonna show if they can do anything up against the other Hiroshi poisoned individual right now, taking it to them. Looking for the jump over on the other side, but these stand CDs are starting to add up. Level 1.
Yeah, pressure continues. Baits out at the DP. Very nice recognition from Pako, feeling the pressure from all of the, or feeling all the pressure that he's putting on Dogor, and closing it out with the Leona with a little bit of patience. So good stuff.
I think I kind of see the value of Leona in how this match is gonna, or how this set could go if it plays into what Pako wants to dictate. Being able to have that great foot speed and that runaway game, I mean, Leona's not known for damage. She's not necessarily known for her offense. She does have good ways to keep the block strings going and sort of force an RPS situation with the Moon Slash at the end if you don't know how to really deal with that. But her neutral, when she has a lead and a bit of her defense, can be a little bit of a tough climb if they have a commanding health lead for a lot of characters. So if they get that Duolon to keep that point where win the way that they did in that first game, the value of Leona at mid, and especially in a spot where if Leona dies, you still have Isla in the back to bet on to close the game. there's a lot of value with this Leona pick at that mid spot.
Yeah, Leona also has a lot of really interesting setups that she can do with like 1.5, 2 bars, where she can get some incredible value out of that meter because of the way that like EX earring works, and the way that her combos just string together a lot of hits. So she builds a lot of meter in her own combos. So she can do a lot of damage with a little bit, which is why I think she's done second. But I'm not going to say that's easy. It's actually extremely hard, which is why we don't see a lot of Leona. But you're right. You can also fall back to that more defensive play style. And I think that works out really well for Leona as well. As we get into this one, Dogor representing the Benimaru this time instead of the Rock on point. Everything else still staying the same, as we can see if we can dispatch this duel-on a little sooner than later.
Yeah, they definitely know that duel-on was the reason why Pako was able to get the set to go at the pace that they wanted. So they want to put the top tier Titan at that first spot as quickly as possible to get rid of duel-on as quickly as possible. But the expeditious delivery to the grave is going to be done by duel-on rather than the counterpart. Benimaru going to go 6 feet under, and it's going to be up to Yuri to dig up the game out of that grave before Pako runs away with it. Oh, come on.
Oh, tried to walk in close enough for the close C to get a better combo. Unfortunate that they were just a bit too far, but nonetheless, Pako's rolling with this duel-on. It's felt like such a difficult situation to get over. Nice far C, gets out of the corner. Maybe something to start.
All right, chase down the Immortal 2B after the fact, going to be able to run up, get that 5C, not going to be able to cash out to anything that would kill, but still, you are showing that you are able to establish this presence, but good hop over. Unfortunately, couldn't quite get the clean hit after with a jump in, but still going to be able to get a quick match conversion on the strike after the fact, so getting rid of duel-on in an albeit expensive way. Force Leona out, but again, commanding health lead for Leona could play into what Pako wants in the strategy for this set.
Oh, just a little bit too far. That's exactly what I'm talking about, but gets the instant overhead. That's another great tool for Leona, and she does use it right there. Pako able to close it out with a little bit of meter going into the final character for El Dogor.
And still so much life that they got to chew through. That's fully healthy Leona that they have to beat before they even get to look at Isla at all this set. But here's a good start right here. The hard knockdown with the EXOTG. Good challenge though from Leona. The block on the cross up. Sweep, putting Iori into the corner. Now who's going to swing first? Who's going to budge first?
Gonna get out of the corner. Dogor holds it and just takes that space behind them. Finds the cross up though, doesn't block it in time. Gonna spend the super. Pako once again trying to get this Leona back into the corner, but they've been fighting for this right side of the screen.
Oh, just running up with the 2B, the all classic advanced tool from Iori, going to be able to go into the quick max here, going for the taco kick. Actually, no, going for the draw on the other side, and we're ready to tech it.
Oh, the trade. Tried to get the pick up there. High jump in, couldn't get a combo off of it. 2 bars on both sides as well. That EX earring's just trying to force the situation. Dogor waiting for their moment, blocking it out. Ooh, an EXDP once again. Pako baits 2. It dies twice. And gonna take it 2-0 versus El Dogor.
Oh, I felt the frustration in that DP because that sweep to go underneath the EX area was actually a really good idea, but they were just outside of the range.
He fits like 3 extra specials. His EX or his heavy genocide counter feels like it builds half a bar, and then that I affectionately call the AC-130, the jump CD, so difficult for people to deal with. Just comes in from the skies, and you're gonna have to have a good anti-air response for it, but. Nice patience from Shadow X there, blocking that heavy genocide cutter and getting a good block punish.
Oh yeah, we're already seeing Basurto does not want to lose control of the match in any way. They really want to make sure that they have all phasers on go up against Shadow X. The ultimate match between 2 O2 OGs at play right here. Going to be able to get the genocide cutter anti-air version up against an approaching Clark in the air, but going to take to the air to get on out of the corner, and then the Argentine backbreaker to put their back in the corner.
Oh, get it. Shows him the handshake. Nope, it was a trick. We're going for the grip. Shadow able to take it on the famous Clark.
An exchange of salute. Oh, but an exchange of air normals not going to be had with the air throw right there. Shadow X meeting him up in there and then slamming him right back down. But right now, bringing Clark back down to earth. EX Moon Slash again, doing a really good job using those DPs for an anti-air. But Shadow X getting the brunt of the big hits. Oh, had a big hit right there, but just not quite ready to do much after the fact.
Yeah, missed the input afterwards, unfortunately. So going back to neutral. Basurto trying to slow down the situation. They're not trying to overextend because they haven't lost too much life yet. Oh, anywhere juggle conversion. Very nice. Shadow opportunity. Catches the roll. Wait a minute.
What did you call it? The Clarkening? Is that what you called it?
It is the Clarkening. You get put into the blender and you're just like anybody else.
Oh no! The Army Man Farsi. Unfortunately, one of the drawbacks of a great button like that is you can get low profiled, and Heidern, if anything else, has rangy buttons that can do just that. And you saw the sweep right there, tapping the toes of Clark and being able to get out of dodge. But Clark made his presence known, so made it a little bit easier for K-Dash to come in at that mid spot and do exactly that. Just the instant overhead to get rid of Heidern.
And didn't spend too much on the Clark, so this is a very, very wealthy K-Dash here. 4 bars on Terry, definitely big damage available to them as well, but, you know, having to go through 2 characters might need a little bit more than that.
Far D, quick max conversion, that is a lot of damage there that can help us out. It is a bit expensive, but again, you got to pay the premium to give yourself a chance. And you have K-Dash in the corner. Oh, we fight on out with just a wake up shatter strike.
Yeah, noticed him at range. If he pressed any button, he was going to eat that Shadow Strike. Good recognition of the situation from Shadow. Guard cancel. Oh, unfortunately, not the right option because that was minute spike on block. He would have been able to just get a punish.
Yeah, just wanted to get out of dodge because they knew that there was some Ein Trigger plus frame shenanigans on deck. So I understand the will, the want to get out of there. But unfortunately, like you said, it could have been game otherwise. So we'll see what Basurto can do to sort of get any equal opportunity, but we just slide on through the power wave. Flash yellow of our own variety, and Shadow X going to take the first game.
Speaking of people, you know, play characters for decades, man. That's what happens. You play a character like K-Dash, who's even in the context of King of Fighters, unique. You have those conversions always ready, always on deck. The situational awareness always available to you to get those kills. We do get a bit of a switch. Actually, I should say a lot of a switch, as all 3 characters finding new positions for Basurto's team.
Yeah, interesting. Putting Terry up at point up against Clark. And also, yeah, gonna see Rugal at that mid spot. Maybe just didn't feel like they could get a lot of momentum up against the point character from Shadow X here early. But I think getting rid of Clark is going to be huge because you did see, even after that, especially after that point where when, oh no, that was Fireball. That was Fireball. And it's gonna be exactly that. If they do get that point war win, how they could have all of that meter to get that anywhere juggle to parlay that into even more momentum against the mid character coming in.
I like trying to go for something different. Definitely didn't feel how that Rugal matchup went, but once again, Shadow has been playing this character for probably the entirety of 15 at least, and it's just been so refined. It doesn't matter who's in front of him. Nice, gets a jump on the EX command grab though. That's big.
A hard knockdown ender with the power dunk too. Not going to get a whole lot after the fact. You got to be so fearful even on hard knockdown against Clark, so you're not necessarily able to keep your offense going the way that you would against other characters. So even with that in mind, that gives Shadow X a chance to be a lot more active on defense, and you see exactly that happen there as they were able to find a way on out of a hard knockdown situation and get a win, and then just get the Clarkening going once again.
Goes for block that time. Nice guard cancel on the EX punches. Love seeing that. Needs to get just a little bit of health going. You'll take these trades, especially as long as the timer stays up. But doesn't go for the anywhere juggle, actually just goes for the double Frankensteiner. One more, no, goes for the hit instead, catches him trying to swirl out, and Shadow showing off what the Clark can do, taking 2 characters once again and meeting his boss on the anchor.
Man, oh man, yes, saluting Clark because he's definitely doing some good service, some good work for the cause of Shadow X, and now trying to keep the cause going. Gonna be able to get the toe taps, catching them holding up against a potential command grab attempt. What's the guess here? Not gonna keep the strikes going. And yeah, Shatter Strike, get out of there. Oh no, that could have been a dead Clark.
Oh, yeah, this character doesn't get a lot from Shatter Strikes in juggle states in general, but oh, that's not what you wanted. Oh my god, the well-timed Frankensteiner canceling onto a safe on block move, thinking that you're gonna be safe, but getting read expertly by the man Shadow X. Taking an OCV with the Clark, moving on into top 24.
Yeah, the order selection not gonna work out on the part of...
Yeah, we got Cyborg bringing out a new character for this match specifically, bringing out the Kula. Actually been one of the characters I've been maining in this last patch, just because she is incredibly solid. Just great buttons, great defensive play style, and if that suits your fancy, she's one of the best characters in the game for it.
Yeah, and I think against a character like Oyash, may not be getting to see a good example of it right now because we did get to jump in JA and call out on the roll. But against a character like Oyash, the way that Kula is quick enough to engage and disengage with Oyash and keep him guessing in terms of how he can get started, especially at that point where neither character really has resources, but Kula has the ability to enforce her game plan a lot more readily in that part of the game. She does get a lot of value in that aspect, but when Rino and Oyash have the advantage, it's a different ball game, and we're calling ball game in the point where shouts to Paul Pierce for the one-time calling game in that aspect.
Going to the mayor on this one, just a little bit more resources on the side of Cyborg, who's made the Oyash work from a deficit before, so let's see if we can happen again. But like I said, Rino, great control over the neutral. That's what makes him so good as a player. See if he can do that.
Nice. Denying that with the anti-air 2C, not going to get it that time, but just going to get the full punish, I would say, but we weren't quite ready with the target combo conversion. Still going to catch him a little bit too high for their own good, so Rino keeping up the pressure up against Oyash, looking to keep it going, looking for that Shatter Strike as well, but just again, not going to get the full punish, but still, you're fine right now. You take the nickel and dimes right here because you got all the advantage in the world, and it's going to be even bigger now that you win the mirror.
Yeah, took it really nicely above the 30-second mark as well, so getting 250 health back. Basically spent no meter throughout that round as well. So, I mean, 2 characters up and a bar and a half has stuff to work with versus Cyborg's Ralf.
Yeah, at the onset, you mentioned how good they are at placing themselves out of the effective range of other characters. Against a character like Ralf, that is going to be super important because we're already seeing the 2C being represented, the far C as well, and Rino showing that they're just sitting right outside of the range, daring them to swing at a point where they can punish them for going into those committal far heavy buttons.
Yeah, Cyborg's not finding a lot here, right? He's just taking these little hits, the instant overheads on the way out. But little hits, little nickels and dimes, it ended up paying out towards the end there as he does get rid of the Oyash.
Oh, but yeah, this is not a character you want to see as Ralf. Heidern doing a really good job of complementing that game plan that Rino wants to play, just being able to say, hey, I dare you to try to find a way in because I am Heidern. I have so many different ways to keep you out, but we're right back on in there. Advanced strike as well to armor through the get out attempt and keep the plus frames going. Roll after the fact.
Not sure how I feel about the guard cancel roll on the advanced strike. I think it's a little expensive for a minor plus frame situation, but I mean, we're feeling it from Cyborg in terms of the pressure. Tacking on the level 2. Is that gonna be enough with the OTG? Yes, gotta spend the EX to make damn sure we're gonna go into that anchor war.
Okay. That was gonna get a little bit precarious there. I said the matchup was not one that you want to play as Ralf, but Cyborg looking pretty comfortable, but you're always gonna be sweating when you have the nuclear bomb that is Ash Crimson with 4.5 bars at that anchor spot. You can actually just perish with the tap of the toes. That's why we deny that with the DP on any grounded approach attempt from Ash right now.
Yeah, Rino knows they only need one. They don't even need that much meter. That's why you're going to see a little bit of it spent on neutral here. Oh, catches it, and that should be it. Doesn't even need to go for the nice combo. Just level 1, level 3, make it easy for the Ash player. Rino's going to take the first one.
Yeah, it was going to be really tough to see if Cyborg could find a way on out of there. I think it's pretty good that you have the ability to shut down the Sobot kick, which is usually a good quick max starter for the Ash player with the 2C and the Farsi, but there are just so many different ways that Rino could have played that because it was up to Cyborg to claim any advantage. So they just kind of sat back, waited for Cyborg to do something, and then fully leveraged the opportunity after the fact. So really good stuff there down the stretch.
Yeah, it's the benefit of playing Ash on anchor. It's not the fact that not the fact that he actually has the ability to like blow you up in one combo. A lot of characters can do that. It's when you play them on anchor like this, it means that they only need a certain amount of meter, and all of the health doesn't matter. It's a resource. Take hits, you know, try to find your way in, take risks. It doesn't matter. None of that matters because once you get the hit, the game's over. So you play him on anchor. If you go to an anchor to first anchor war, that's your best case scenario, and then you're able to take the character and take the win. Is Rino? Nothing changed. No, actually switching up to the Heidern on point now versus the regular Yashiro. Unfortunately for me, Pool has been benched, but we're going to a very similar situation to Rino. Double Yash, but Ralf in the middle.
Yeah, if you're gonna make a change, you got to do it quick in the 1-2 situation. I understand we had an idea of how the Kula was gonna work out, but it just didn't manifest itself in the way that you wanted. And Heidern gonna come out at that point spot too, so maybe anticipating a little bit of that Kula at the front, but still gonna get some value being able to set the pace at that point spot. But right now, all the pace is in the favor of Yashiro, keeping Heidern pinned down in the corner. Gonna find a way to get the JCD to get out of there, or the JD to get out of there, excuse me. JC, I can't speak.
Getting out of there was a big part of that, though. Rino does really well to fight out of that corner versus Cyborg's Yashiro, who's trying to find their way back in, but meets a Moon Slasher.
Oh, knocking on the door with that 5A and then catching them with the follow-up on the jet counter. And then the corner steal on the other side. My God, I keep saying the blessed Orochi jump normals. They come in spades, and the JC going to come and hit you on the other side. Yashiro gonna win the point war up against Heidern.
Yeah, Cyborg doing really good to take advantage of Rino's patience overall. He's not willing to ball out all the time. Usually pretty comfortable to down back, as that's a great 6B whip punish.
All right, are we sure Oyash is not being played by Cyborg right now, because we just go empty jump throw right there. The brawler Yashiro still keeping up the offense in a really good spot, keeping them in the corner here. Trying to find a way out is Rino, does find a way out. Just gonna go into the EXOTG. Yes, sirree. Force Ralf on out of there, but not a lot of life to play with.
Yeah, great stuff from Cyborg, extending his lead a little bit further on the character. And Ralf gonna go in here. Hard to not take incidental damage versus this character unless you get the ball rolling. So, and this has been such a strong character for Cyborg in this tournament so far. He's been playing in multiple positions.
Yep, right now leveraging the space control that they have, and then just going with the overhead right there, just riding on out of there, retreating as well. Good way to keep Oyash down there in jail. And you give yourself a bit of a buffer as well too, because Ash coming in as a nuclear bomb that he is, has to work through 2 characters. So if he expends it all on Ralf, I mean, still can get a quick access to a bit of meter after the fact to get Oyash, but it's still tougher to get rid of 2 characters than 1, obviously.
Yeah, so you make this decision when you're playing Ash from behind. Do I want to spend the combo now and build it with my life bar later? Or do I play conservatively over time? And it looks like we're going for the former rather than the latter. Going for the combo, then we're hopefully going to be able to get close to killing here. I think we're a little short. Yeah, doesn't want to bother spending it anyway.
Yeah, and if you get a clean jump in like you got right there too, you still have access to the nuclear bomb in commission right here. The Ash Crimson Zone indeed still in effect here. It could be really scary here, especially now that you don't have the best way, like the same ways to shut down Sobot Kick that you did with Ralf, but you still have that 5B on Oyash. So there's a way out, there's a way forward. Oh, but you also have the running command grab to go through any projectiles.
Like I said, though, the health is a resource. We just need to find the hit. So Reno's looking to get that health down to 700, has the 3 bars. Once we get there, kill is available.
Looking for that 2B tap as well, trying to get in the dead zone of where Reno could swing, or where Cyborg could swing at that mid-range, just trying to find any hit possible to get rid of Oyash, but also not overextending too much. Oh!
Kill is available, by the way. 600 health left, 3 bars on Reno. There's definitely any touch will do it. We just need to find something clean to combo into Quick Max.
And Cyborg doing a really good job not up backing in those ambiguous neutral situations, knowing that they're looking for that 2B toe tap into the Quick Max. Oh, but we're gonna toe tap to the chest. Didn't get the cool Quick Max. We were out of range, looking for that 5B to convert into anything to get rid of Ash. Now we just sent out the orb. This could get really dangerous, but only 15 seconds left on the clock. Roll through, get the toe tap on the other end. Reno gonna be able to clutch it from the jaws of defeat and end it with the EXDP with so little time left on the clock. As Crimson doing what they do best. Yeah, I mean, look, don't put yourself in that situation if you don't want to be there, and that's kind of how it ended up. But we're ending up with another top 8 qualifier win, so we will see who will meet that compatriot there between Ronnie and Llama Master. Llama Master, of course, coming in. Galaxy Anton Wrestling still in winner's side, but Oyash, the son of Orochi, not very happy to see them. Not one for entertainment, not one to get the Peacock subscription to watch a PLE.
No, he might think it's the fans' fault. he might be blaming the fans just a little bit, but you know who's for the fans? Definitely King of Dinosaur showing off big. Rolls away from that cross-up situation. Meters pretty close. Health is pretty close. Try to show him the Ric Flair, but the great Shatter Strike has an anti-air, closes it out. Ronnie takes the first one.
Yeah, the battle of the Betty is going to be won by Oyash right there. 2 grapplers going at it with their armored buttons, and Oyash going to win out in that aspect. Less armor on the other side, but still flying through the skies is Ramon, trying to do it with a delayed round start option. So varying up the timing, but still very much keeping up that aggressive mentality as we get the ES dropkick to land, and then Kaji trying to throw on Wake Up with the advanced strike. Is still alive, though. Not for much longer.
Yeah, closes it out quick enough. Well above that time limit to get the full health back. So we're sitting in a pretty good position. EX, yep. EX dive kick. He's a Ramon player. Of course he's got an ES dive kick on round start.
It's just the matter of fact way that you said it, and it just the immediate timing of that was just so good. It was so good, but still get some good damage after the fact as well. Even though the round start didn't work out, we still are able to get a big chunk of Isla's life gone. Trying to play outside of the ranges, Ronnie, but Llama Master doing just a really good job of playing keep away.
Yeah, I like the rollback as well. Just trying to get away from this Ramon. Nice 2C. But as we're playing for the corner, unfortunately, the dive a little bit off mark whiffs, and Ronnie's had some 2 great whiff punishes on these. Does it again. It doesn't matter. You're going to have to punish it every time, bud.
All right, trying to find a way back in here, just running on in there. Ronnie trying to throw out a bunch of spots, going for a throw punish instead on the dropkick. EX with the flip, and just go on the other side. The frog splash, that's to Eddie Guerrero for the one time. Gonna catch the cap on the other side, and that is going to force Yashiro to come in with the brawler variety. Yellow jacket right here, but chasing him down. Get the red flash with the running successful hit grab, and we're keeping it going. Oh my God, no!
Off the top rope, showing him. Plus frames. Oh, very nice. Gonna go for the EX throw there. Quick option to blow up a possible frame trap situation. Seeing those far Ds as a possible anti-air if Ronnie jumps into it.
Oh, caught the startup of the retreating of the retreating EX special right there. That was actually very interesting how they weren't able to get out of dodge in time. So the chase down gonna work out there for Ronnie, but they got to go up against Yashiro, who has access to quick max. So gonna have to be very careful to not overextend. Oh, but we get out.
And unfortunately, though he has the life lead, Llama Master's lost Antonov's best resource, which is meter. And this might put Yashiro in a great position. What a back roll. Nice.
Nice DP on the other end. Not a lot of life to chew through here, so it doesn't necessarily need all that meter that they lost on that raw level 2, but we'll see how Ronnie's gonna play this.
Yeah, only one bar necessary to get the kill for Ronnie. Anything will do. As he spends the last bit, Llama Master looking for the hit in neutral there. That's gonna be it for the meter, but the duff, the far C matching him in the air. Nice high hitbox to close out the first game.
Yeah, that's a really tough spot to be in when you're at a last hit scenario, because if you take to the skies, which is a lot of what Yashiro wants to do to be able to get the approach started, you have a lot of options as Ramon, being the tall character that you are, that far C and that far D. We're going to reach up into the heavens to sort of snipe you on out of there. Even if you don't have the meter to convert off of it, you just need the one hit. So taking to the skies, not necessarily the best way to do it, but I understand you have to make something happen. So it's KOF, it's Yashiro, you got to hop.
Yeah, it's just one of those situations. You can, very nice answer to the overhead punch.
With cancels.
Yeah. Nice. Oh, that was, I wonder if that auto-corrected or if he knew that 2C would flip on the opposite side after the air flip. That was cool.
All right. No guessing game here for left-right, but you still got to guess between the strike and the throw, and the throw is what is at play. We're going to keep the ball rolling here.
Good Lord, the violence. They are yucking each other back and forth. Oh my God. Once again, so close to getting gripped out of the air. And the jump A, the tried and true, going to close it out for the Yash. Ronnie takes the first round.
Yeah, I need whatever that is. They got to unbind that input, because I know that Llama Master has gone for it a couple of times, and they've been right a couple of times, but the button just does not work. And so it's been unfortunate in that aspect. So maybe got to go to a different tool in the toolkit right here. But got Ramon, a different character in the cast here, but still doing the same thing. Good old grappler goodness, and ending it with the level 1. So a little bit of flash in the pan here up against Isla coming out now.
Okay. I like that. I like that, because if it's a button, a normal button of forward movement that run into the Shatter Strike, if it's the EX drop kick, they get blown up for it. That was a pretty smart round start.
True, yeah, good note, good note. I was like, man, yeah, see chat saying they are scrapping, and look, Ronnie's just meeting them in a different flavor, but they're still showing the same level of violence that Llama Master's showing towards them. So I love the dukes being thrown between these two.
Oh, it is absolute carnage here. Llama Master switches the situation up. Nice block on the overhead, but that wonderful far A controlling the pace in front of Ramon. Gonna get the combo here. Goes for the knockdown. Left side of Riar. Just goes for the delay overhead. Love that from Ronnie. Unexpected, as we usually see a left-right situation from Isla in that moment.
Yeah, I love to see that leveraging of the very optimal use of the Shatter Strike. Oh, I do love the range that they sat at right outside of the big punch from Antonov. Couldn't get a punish after the fact, but the fact that you're just being aware of the range is going to be very, very important in terms of being able to close out the set here, and you're getting a good chance to do that. Got the save too, but you pressed after.
Yeah, and even on those trades, every one of these meter spends is a win for Ronnie. Less threat from the Antonov for the Yashiro if it doesn't work out for the Isla. Nice, rolls away once again and tries to bet it just on a normal DP. Looking for the kill is Ronnie, and ties it up 1-1.
Yeah, tried to look for one last scam, but we blocked the card reader. and not going to be able to get the DP to work out there. Good stuff by Ronnie to really just still play the violence game that Llama Master was drawing out of them, but doing it in a way where it was structured and just denied any bit of scramble that they were trying to force. So I do really love the adaptation in the game plan here from Ronnie in game 2. We'll see if Llama Master can respond in kind, or do we just go in the same, do we put the same game plan to work and just make sure it works this time around?
Yeah, I mean, you know, through all the violence is just volatility, right? If you can get a couple of Oki situations rolling for you, you definitely can get a big advantage. Ooh, nice chase down on the roll, though.
Yeah, being able to whiff cancel that stand CD is so strong for Dinosaur because you have a litany of ways to sort of represent an option after the fact, especially if you want to catch a retreating opponent trying to get out of that situation. And you're seeing what the value has as it keeps them in the corner and now forces this corner strike throw game. We roll out of there and get the Shatter Strike to work out as Ronnie. Good conversion. Level 1, it's time to guess.
The left, right. Strike throw, goes for the cross up, tries to go for a double cross up and meets him in the air. Ronnie able to close it out after the super and definitely starts the momentum rolling, but can stop it here. 2 bars on the Ramon. Plays it safely there.
Ooh. Rolls out of the drop kick, but not going to be able to punish after the fact. Oh, just go into the EX hugs and then get him on the other side. The knee press going to catch you on the backside, and Ronnie going to have to figure something out now because Oyash has seen the last days for this set. He's going to have to come in with Amanda to sort of keep Ramon at bay because right now the Flying Tiger's flying high.
Oh, yeah, and Ramon does quite a bit of damage for his meter usage. OTG sets up, waits for the roll, and what is better than Ramon's 2C to catch somebody trying to get out of the corner? A great run from the Ramon and shows what this character can do, puts Ronnie on their anchor character.
Yo, that's unbelievable too, because it's usually been Llama Master getting caught trying to roll out against Ronnie, and Ronnie doing a good job of shutting that down. But it was a role reversal right there, trying to prevent the scramble from happening and just keeping the advantage in their aspect. Really good stuff here, but great stuff from Ronnie to get started. Oh my God, the break EX to wake up, but still the trade gonna work out for Yashiro. You could be dead here.
Just needs one more. Just goes for the retreating jump A. Not an instant overhead, but if you're doing anything, it is going to meaty you. It's a great option there from Ronnie as he goes in with a full life bar. However, no meter. Llama Master almost 3 bars. And get that gun ready to go.
Oh, yeah, but jam the gun a little bit with that EX DP. Just make sure that it is not firing too soon. But here we go. We're firing off that DP, catching them in the air, looking for, again, that level 2. So that's been on purpose, trying to catch any overextension on offense. But Ronnie has played very smartly around that. Now you don't have the quick max opportunity for Antonov. So that's a value lost in a big way.
Yeah, and if you want to go tit for tat in terms of general meter usage, hard to find people better than Yashiro. So going into this anchor position without a lot of meter to work, and once again the EXTP shutting down the opportunity for Llama Master to get it started. Ronnie using all of that meter perfectly and gonna take it 2-1 over Llama Master. That type of game plan very easily, but if she does get it going, it can be scary, as we do get Shermie up on the board. I want to say, by the way, thank you to Shermie for actually being somebody who plays his namesake. Because
yes, thank you. Somebody says something. Somebody says this. Lao Yagami doesn't play Iori. Rockland Kyo doesn't play Kyo. Like, what are we doing, folks? What are we doing? Anyway,
it happens too often. It happens
way too often. In this game only, by the way, in this game only. But the Shermie is showing that the namesake is really, really going strong, because that is a dead duel on. This is not a matchup that you definitely love as Shermie from the onset if you have to play that neutral game. So being able to press the advantage and keep the advantage up, very valuable. And Shermie doing a really good job in maximizing that, while also just there were there's a litany of different strings that they were going to that early on in the set. So just keeping them guessing this early is really, really strong.
Yeah, good variety to start off. And definitely, as you're saying, you know, usually we see Shermie second or third. Putting her on point means less resources. So getting rid of that duo-long, really nice. But let's see if we can make up the difference. Pako on the Isla, playing it second this time instead of third.
Yeah, again, playing that keep out game with Isla's big buttons is really good up against Shermie. But once we find that JCD, good counter hit as well. Going to be able to get a little bit of room to work, but denied still. The jump over the taco kick. Hard knockdown here. No more guess. Looking for that 6-2-3, but there are 10,000 years of recovery on that. So a whiff means death, and that is going to be Isla taking advantage.
Yeah, good stuff, but had to spend a lot of meter on the way there, and so we are gonna have to play it a little calmer or get a little less reward off of our hits as Pako already gets Shermie's Leona into the corner. Looking good so far, trying to scramble out. It took a lot of damage just to get away from the corner.
All right, just slowly trying to play that game. And like you were saying, it's tough for Leona to get started up against some characters. But once you, like, it's about once you get in. But right now, you don't necessarily have all the resources in the world to make up this deficit. So you're going to have to be very, very judicious about how you can parlay multiple interactions into a potential round win. And here we go. We have access to make it a little bit more rewarding here. Oh, but here we go. Looking for some more damage. What a sequence.
Yeah, I wasn't able to get exactly what they wanted to go. Tried to go for the mix-up off of the bomb, and it didn't work out. But did get a lot of damage, did get something out of that quick max with the instant overhead. So it wasn't all for naught, but Pako still coming out on top on the Isla. And here is another pretty darn rare sight. Not only Athena, but Anchor Athena.
Yeah, and if we do see Isla come out, I do have an idea of why the Leona would come in at Anchor up against this character, because especially of the way that Shermie likes to play Athena, she does love to play that annoying play style of just get back, all of a sudden Phoenix Arrow in. And Leona having to navigate through all of that, you want to have her at Anchor, so going through that that bullet hell, so to speak, is rewarded if you get that hit. So you want to make sure that if you do finally get that hit against her, it counts for something.
Yeah, and you mentioned, right, something like a Moon Slasher easier to react with if you're going to see some weird Phoenix Arrow stuff. But let's get started here. What are we going to do? Are we going to cash out? Yeah, go for the mix. Nice. He's seen that before. Goes for the super. Ooh. Confirm. Very nice. Gonna build the meter here, so I'm gonna wonder whether we want to do. Oh no, we stunned. Oh my god, that was much sooner than I expected. And gonna be a little short. It's gonna be close. Oh, just enough health, but the overhead closing it out for Pako. And that is going to be it. First game goes to Pako on the Anchor Leona.
I laugh because I'm like, okay, the 50-50's coming, and then they did absolutely nothing and then caught the roll with the overhead. I was like, that is the exact last thing that I thought was going to happen in that last touch scenario, but that was pretty good stuff. I understand why you just kind of do nothing there as Pako, because Shermie woke up with something a lot as Athena. And they caught them at that point, but that time just being like, you know what, I don't really have to do anything. Like if you know, we get thrown, it is what it is. But yeah, that was really good play from Leona down the stretch. That was really good.
Yeah, that's what makes this character so threatening, and Pako closing it out with a very clutch situation. But definitely put themselves in a bad situation because of this matchup specifically. Shermie going ham with that namesake and not giving this Dulong a chance to play the game.
Ooh, wow, yeah, vertical reach on that CNCD, not necessarily known for its grounded applications otherwise, but being able to snipe Dulong out and get some pretty good advantage after the fact. But now having Shermie pinned down in the corner, it'll be able to get the air-to-air hit, counter hit, going for the overhead as well, trying to find a way out. This is the tough spot to be in, but you do have access to the guard cancel.
Yeah, 2 bars too, so Shermie with access to some good damage. And we're spending point max. We want to make damn sure we cash out on the damage.
Oh, that was delayed grab. That was delayed grab.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that my heart skipped a beat for Pako because I was like, oh man, that was about to be a dangerous spot, but really good timing on the fuzzy mash there to get Shermie out of there before she could really run away with stealing that round.
Man, do not remember the last time I saw a point max, but it really speaks to how high level these guys are playing. They will take any advantage given to them.
Speaking of advantage, look at this Leona's hits.
Oh, not gonna combo, but the chip, basically the same thing in that scenario, as Shermie able to close it out with the Leona above the 42-second mark, so we're gonna cover most of that life back, and we're pretty close, all things considered.
About even right here. Oh, both of them just slightly outside of each other's far-reaching options. Now we keep the strike throw going, though. This is where things can really go sideways for Isla.
No.
Oh, but the low hits done on the jump in is just so tough because they got that clean hit, but still getting able to keep up the pressure.
Yeah. I love that EX use as well. Safe on block, but it moves her forward, just getting some space behind her.
Block on the taco kick. Oh, yeah, that's a big one. And trying to catch them overextending to keep the corner offense going. But again, Pako doing a really good job of exercising selective patience up against the aggressive, active defense of Leona and Shermie Asesina.
Oh, just got the little hit, goes for the throw afterwards, and the ambiguous cross-up that we know and love from the Heidern family. Jump C.
So I got it from my daddy.
It's funny that that's like that and the Moon Slasher are like the two things that stay in the family, and they're the two most frustrating things to deal with on these characters.
I mean, look, if there's gonna be family heirlooms, they have to be worth something. The estate's gotta have some value to it.
Oh no, can't do that. Needy on the fireball and then catching the back roll. Very nice situation. Good read from Pako as well, dispatching the imposter, and now we just got one more Athena left.
Yeah, I gotta say, I love the option coverage that Pako's Leona has shown throughout this set. It's been really good at just covering a variety of options that Shermie can go to. Oh, but here we go. We have the option to go into some more damage here. Could have gone for the quick match, but nah, just gonna try to get a bigger hit after the fact. Phoenix Arrow trying to catch them, trying to get out of dodge, and there's that big damage.
I thought she was a zoner. Why does she do so much damage? Oh my god. Oh, that's the thing that always surprises you about Athena. Catches the back roll. Can attack on the super. Little skilled because it's a CD, but still good damage. Oh, catches the run out! Oh, wait a minute. Catches max mode. Is that going to be enough? It does scale just a little bit, but he does get the super. Oh, that's enough. No, not quite. Missed the ender. And Shermie takes advantage. And we're going to have to do one more to decide the difference.
Oh my gosh, it was looking so strong for Pako. Again, I mentioned the option coverage. It seemed like Shermie had nowhere to go, but the only thing that could beat Leona in that moment was Leona herself. The combo drop, unfortunate, giving Athena another chance at life. And that is going to be how we get to a game 3. But you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way because this has been so nip and tuck throughout these first 2 games. We could get more of the same here to finish off the set.
Yeah, I mean, as a fan, you know, you don't get to see a lot of Leona. If we're seeing Leona mirrors, you'll never see that again in your life. But at least not in 15. So this is a real treat for sure.
Oh man, good conversion on the counter hit right there. That is a really good heads up play. Look, if you're going to be named after the character, you got to have all the conversions ready. You got to know every bit of damage that you can get from this character, especially if you can parlay them into the almighty guessing game that Shermie can have for you.
Nice. This is what we were talking about before, the pressure put on, but unfortunately got caught on the recovery frames there. Side switch, stay same side. Nice back roll. Getting away from Pako's offense. Couple frames off, and that's the end of the round.
Oh, looking for that bear grab, but just stuffing it with that 6P. And just be so annoying there. It's such a, that's exactly what you want as Pako. You want to force that health advantage and then just say, Shermie, you got to do something. You got to commit to something. And there's a lot of different ways that he can pollute the screen or just be present right at that far range with that stomp. Really good stuff there for Pako.
Yeah, Shermie recognizing that, at least in this matchup, can't really start offense for full screen. EX Earring, not a very viable option here. So just trying to find their way on Dulong, but Pako's made some great decisions. Will take that guard cancel. That's a meter spend for almost nothing. But does find the hit, tack on the level 1. It does take some meter, but we are getting rid of the Dulong.
Alrighty. Here we go, battle of the mids, but this has been anything but. These have been two very strong characters that have kind of been determining the momentum of how the rest of the game goes between the Leona and the Isla. We'll see if Isla can give their own Leona on the part of Pako a little bit of an easier climb, should they come in. But right now, Shermie on the Leona has done a really good job in these mid wars, especially when they get the early advantage, as they have done so often.
Meets him in the air, nice cross under, but it's thrown back into the corner. Nice little delay 2B match there. Good response from Pako.
Arching them down, forcing them to hold down back. And again, they're retreating, and then immediately, once they have their back to the corner, just gonna run up with that 2B. Gotta know that's the game plan for Shermie.
So cool to see the layers, the cross-up jump A. I'm not even sure that crossed up. Ambiguous as hell from a button you didn't expect, but Shermie able to close it out on the Leona, finally getting some good value on the character. But we have 4 bars on the side of Pako on the anchor Leona.
Look, when you know that you're going to a game 3 against somebody who also plays your character, you got to go deep into the bag of tricks, especially when you don't necessarily know if you have a character that has a deep one of their own or a deep layer 1. So here we go. Now we have the EX Earring, try to get our offense started. Looking for that 2B, not budging.
Just little hits, little nickels and dimes. Just need to find that last hit, and certainly does. Pako, once again, that timing on the 2B, bailing him out, and we got 1 character left for the both of them.
Unbelievable anchor duel going on right now. Meeting Athena up in the air to catch it started, and then just gonna get the stand CD. They've been really good with Leona, especially at catching the retreating from Athena, especially on the part of Shermie. So we'll see if Pako can keep that going, but Shermie has access to a lot of meters, so they can get a pretty nice bit of damage if they can get the hit, but it's all the hits going to Leona right now.
Goes for cross-up, that's not the super that he wanted! And that's gonna be it! Pako gets the kill on the Leona and takes it 2-1, qualifying into your top 8 winners.
Oh man, even at the highest levels, the wrong super will just come out for you at the exact wrong times. We saw it at Evo, you see it here. That is very tough. So, but no, she's a pretty cool character. Had her time under the sun before some adjustments to how Shadow Strike scaling was, or Shadow Strike worked out. Because she was a character that definitely benefited a lot from how Shadow Strike worked originally, but still very strong, especially at being able to force that range that you're seeing her play at right now against Clark. Using that Geki stance to keep Clark at bay and make him second guess the approach.
Yeah, definitely lost some of the tools that kind of made her overbearing, but I think she's a much more interesting character, which is what I loved about the balance of the character as we went along. But doesn't like offense, and that's what Clark likes to put on. Just up in your face. Good patience though. Thrash Boy does get another opportunity, but these trades will be in Shadow's favor.
All right, now you got to make something happen, though, so you can't afford to really sit back and play that Geki game. So this is where things can get a little bit tough, because you see what Shadow X is doing right now, being very active at further out ranges, because they know that Thrash Boy has to try to swing in there rather than Shadow X having to do the same on the other side. And you're seeing exactly how uncomfortable that puts Thrash Boy at on Luong. So now Oyash going to come in after Clark winning the point war.
take that anywhere juggle off that jump C. Gonna try to get that grappler game started before his opponent. Oh, that's a big whiff, however. Thrash Boy gonna go for a Shatter Strike combo here. Not something we've seen, but definitely a strong tool, a good, so to say, EX move that you can add to your combo.
All right, rolling on out of there. Did not have the OS ready to catch the roll, unfortunately for Thrash Boy, so Shadow X does get a little bit more extra credit done. A little bit more, too, running up with the command grab as well. Gonna just dash away, maybe fearing the command grab wake up from Oyash. We do both play grapplers. We do know what we both want.
See, once again, Shadow going for that positioning stance, trying to play out of range where they can react, but Thrash Boy meets him well in the air with the jump CD and able to put the Clark to bed, at least for game 1.
Waving the hands and waving K-Dash on into the arena. Now looking for that iron trigger to keep that mid-range game going, but good, intelligent jump in there from Thrash Boy, just being right outside of the range, doing a really good job. Minute spike on block, still out of a very ambiguous spacing, but still finding a way to slowly inch K-Dash back into the corner.
Yeah, spending money on that guard cancel is not what you want, but Thrash Boy putting on a lot of pressure here, and Shadow's trying to keep that health advantage.
All right, air to air, gonna be able to convert on it. Now it's Oyash that find themselves in the corner up against the Iron Trigger Maniac himself. Looking for that run up 5C, but better defense wins out right there, finding the right time to guard cancel roll.
Does he tack on the level 1? Yes. Finally has the life lead in this matchup.
All right, got to make something happen here. You do not have the health lead to play with, so Thrash Boy still sitting kind of comfortable, but it's getting a little bit hotter under the seat as the final 10 seconds gets onto the clock here. The numbers are glowing red here, telling that these competitors have to make something happen, and that's exactly what Shadow X does, catching them jumping right into the flames of danger and cashing out into a full conversion. Now Rio gonna have to come in at that anchor spot for Thrash Boy.
Doesn't need a lot to close it out, but doesn't necessarily want to be playing in neutral in this matchup, as Iron Trigger does solve a lot of the neutral problems. Oh, jump CD just got the air reset. Very nice. Turns it into an overhead. Nice, and the conversion to boot. Good stuff from Shadow. Still closes it out with that K-Dash with a little bit of health. And gonna take the first gun.
Yeah, that down the stretch was a clinic of the oppressive nature of K-Dash once he can get started from even the most minute of neutral interactions. Opened it up with that minute spike, and then it just kept parlaying in interaction after interaction, even though there wasn't a lot of damage after the fact. A defensive master in Ryo Sakazaki was even caught holding down back a little bit too long, and then got opened up overhead, and then it just kept going. It was just one thing after another, and that's how K-Dash was able to take the set, or take the game rather.
So hopefully we can get a little bit more stabilization. I think we, asked a little bit from the Luong. This definitely is one of those matchups that can be unfun if you get hit, but that neutral presence definitely a big deal, because we might see a similar replay. Oh, God. 2C is so good in those spacings. Gets a great punish.
That was a whiff punish on Luong crouching normal too, so that was a pretty good button to throw out there, because that's a character that's very hard to mess with at that range, especially with the nature of those buttons. So really good confirmed there off of that crouching C from Clark and Shadow X, and already looking very clean here to start it out. Had the advantage in that first game, but even better now.
Well, gonna use that Shadow Strike. He's used it really well, whether it be in neutral or in combos. Once again, gonna go for that 1.5 meter combo. Stay same side, wants to keep the stage positioning here.
Oh, just run up with the 2A. Dare me to do something. I will do it if you give me the chance. Just run up into the command grab. One more guess, trying to get out of dodge, but get the conversion because you backdash. That creates a counter hit state, and the anywhere juggle of Clark is able to capitalize on that. Shadow X, the situational awareness, the heads up play. This is the Clark master himself, man.
Yeah, and just, you know, Clark players, once they smell a little blood on the water, they just, it feels like there's nothing you can do to stop their momentum. But let's try to meet a runaway train with a wall here. Yo, Spence level 1. Oh, Spence level 2. We want him dead, I understand, but good God. Oh.
Look, hey, do you see what that Clark was doing to me? I want him off the screen ASAP. I do not want any part of this.
Yeah, just gonna get a little bit of damage here. Tagging on the level 1. Yeah, there's a long way to go here, and without meter to boot, you're asking yourself for a lot of really good play. But hey, we're seeing it so far. Already a 60% life lead. Whoa! Great use of the EX minutes by going through the fireball.
Alrighty. Keep up the pressure, slowly inch Rio into the corner. Trade going to work out there in terms of positioning for Shadow Expo. Oh, but again, the clean jumping over the iron trigger, getting the far or the close D on the other side. That's a couple of times that interaction's worked out there for Rio. So we were questioning with Thrash Boy paying the premium on these interactions was going to be to their detriment, but look at what we brought out. We got an Iori out of the bag.
Nice parry, gonna get the combo off the super. Just taking whatever damage they can. But Shadow has the Iori with 4 bars.
Yeah, it's just one toe tap. That's all you need right here, just to run up 2B. You already saw the run up 2A with Clark, so we know that Shadow X has that in the back of his mind somewhere. But Thrash Boy doing a really good job of not overcommitting, not overextending, not giving Iori what they want, but it's getting so close.
Yeah, Shadow just can't find the hit, and he only needs 1. Oh, the pressure! Oh my God, my guard part! Help! Oh, the DP! So clutch. Air flip though.
Look at that stand CD to maybe catch any button on the wake up, but just a little bit outside of the range. So that quick max probably just gonna go away now, but you still have access to more max mode shenanigans. Looking for that trip guard 2B, but the Thrash Boy, the spacing has just been so good.
The block of that dude on the level 3 doesn't reach. Just pixels away from hitting Thrash Boy, who gets the punish, and we're going for 1 more.
Oh my gosh. The moving wall that is Ryo Sakazaki, not budging an inch in the face of any pressure from Clark, K-Dash, or Iori. It was just so composed throughout the entire time, just slowly taking whatever he could get at any time. And then just at the end there, when we were thinking about how many different ways Iori had to get that quick max going, they were just cut off each time. Thrash Boy played that so beautifully.
Incredible defense. Not only the button pressing and the jumping out, the rolling away, the empty low getting blocked on top of which, God, that was incredibly clutch from Thrash Boy. And to get the reward, 1 more opportunity, as I don't think anything's changed, even though we went to into order select. Yeah, no, it looks all the same here, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think they just wanted a breather because that was a game that would take a lot out of you. You got to recompose yourself to get this last game in your pocket if you're Shadow X or Thrash Boy. Shadow X gonna get the empty jump EX command grab to get things started. Huge advantage here, much like we saw in game 2.
Gets the cross up. We'll finally get some Luong play going. Hard knockdown. Nice. Yep. Nice thing about that Geki, the low Geki, spaces you out in a wonderful position for Luong to control.
especially against a character like Clark with his reversal options. That's very, very valuable, but we still find the right time to exercise that exact option and cash out into a level 1 after the fact. So as much as Luong was starting to get into position, Clark once again just saying, I dominate the point war this set, and it's gonna be 3-0 in that department, but who's gonna walk away 2-1 in the set count, I wonder?
Yeah, it's definitely not what you want to see from the point war, but it was probably the best that Luong's done in the set so far. So there is that. Also, Thrash Boy going into this with a hefty meter lead. What an air throw. Oh, and I think that's going to be it. No, a little bit too scaled after that. Actually, wait, no, maybe. That lasted did way more damage than I expected. Yeah, that should be enough. All right.
All right, Clark on out of there. This is probably the earliest that we've seen Clark get out of there. And as expensive as it is, you got to make it happen. We've seen that paying the premium works out. Spend the cash to make sure that it's worth some, because you can't take it with you in the grave. We'll see if we can send K-Dash to theirs, but right now Shadow X has done a really good job utilizing that iron trigger and pressing the advantage whenever they win the most minute of interactions against characters like Oyash.
Yeah, the big issue is you kind of don't want that K-Dash Rio matchup. It worked well in game 2, but that was just because he had really strong Oki and cashed out on his damage. You want to avoid that as best as you can here. Oh, nice. Gets a big jump in here. Gonna cash out on 1 meter. And that's gonna give you a good Oki setup.
Yeah, there ain't no resolution to be more active for that JA, because that button has active frames like you wouldn't believe, my man. In 2025 and 2026 and beyond, is working out right there to get that clean hit. But another clean hit right here for Shadow X, gonna add up and then get the nice jump up to get the instant overhead. So Thrash Boy gonna have to play that K-Dash Rio matchup that you were alluding to. Not something that you want to see right now.
Yeah, and Shadow can slow down this matchup quite a bit, play more defensively because of the character lead that he has. Meets the Farsi, gets a big hit off of this as well. Nice. Takes those minor plus frames, tries to take advantage of it.
Very similar spot to where we saw in game 1, just oppressive offense up against Rio, but still finding a way to get on out of there. But Shadow X, like you were saying, doing a really good job of slowing it back down. And when you slow it down, your opponent gets lulled to sleep. So you get that empty jump low, but we get the throw on the other end. Whoa, that was dangerous whiff.
Oh, could have been way worse. Thrash Boy with a pixel of health left needs to look for that last hit to extend the set. Nice defense there. The guard bar all the way to the end, but doesn't break, and gonna get the kill. Shadow takes it 2-1.
Man, the whole time I was looking at that guard bar and I was like, Shadow X has to do something. He cannot block the next hit that Rio does. And when I saw the jump, I was like, that's game. That's it. That was what Shadow X was looking for that entire time. As soon as he landed on that jump, I said, that's probably it. That he's just ready for the DP on the next reset attempt on offense. So really good awareness right there. The K-Dash, again, like you were saying, slowing it down to a crawl and then forcing Rio to have to do something, even if it was in a situation that we didn't expect.
Yeah, it's just generally not a wonderful matchup because of just Ein kind of controlling the space in the way that it does. He can stand outside of that, like, hop CD range, and then Fireball is not good versus Ein.
But before we do, we got to show off some love to what's going on here, especially with Tournament of Honesty, Torneo de la Honestidad number 6, KOF happening today. You saw Sam show yesterday. Fatal Fury is going to be happening tomorrow, and what's big about that is the champion will get a trip to the SWC 26 qualifier, Just Frame 2026. Beautiful offline. Got a chance to see it for myself. Definitely want to make sure that you get on over there and win yourself a free ticket if you are nice on the sticks in Fatal Fury.
And around the corner, we have Border Beatdown going to be happening in April of 18 and 19 in Tijuana, across the border from San Diego. It is a nice slew of games to start from what you expect, including Fatal Fury City Wolves, but there will be more games coming soon.
And there's also, of course, the Just Frame Weekly that gets aired on this very channel, KOF and Fatal Fury, happening Tuesday and Wednesday respectively every single week. And if you look to your right, you see that they throw in a nice little $100 SNK pot bonus every single Wednesday. Happens at 8 p.m. Eastern. And definitely make sure, if you're not going to play, tune in, because much like you see here, the best of the best in NA show up to compete in these week in, week out. So don't miss it. And if you want to play against the best, make sure you sign up as well.
See how this goes down. I'm very curious to see new characters from Reno. Oh, actually, Anchor Rugal?
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. You do make good notes about the value here, but they also do see that Rugal can absolutely get a bunch of damage if they have to come out at that anchor spot. And actually getting word from production that Reno got dared to do random characters.
Oh my God.
You know, hey, look, I have a winner's life, so I have a little bit to play with here. So let's just play to the crowd right here. But right now, we're playing into the hands of Dual Lawn Point Gaming because we already got the early lead and we can put them in the vortex, but Iori fighting back.
Man, how do you random Iori Benny? Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna random 2 of the most played characters in KOF history. All right. Oh man, but can you pilot them like the rest of them can? Pako says you're gonna have to bring your A game. The Dulong shows off strong in the first round.
Oh man, look, man of the people being able to step up to the challenge here. Partner like me, I'm not good enough for that. I'm just like, you know what, I'm going in with my 3. But he's like, you know what, I'm nice. I can go in with any character. And Benny definitely not any character though. So we're seeing that right here as we already got Dual on having to fight their way out of the corner after the level 1 conversion. But Paco's still doing a good job of ushering Benny to the West Coast.
Yeah, just keeping the pressure going. Doesn't really have anything to stick out at this range, so Benimaru has to find their way in. What a conversion from Pako. Just goes for the corner positioning here, chases him in the air. Nice throw, but needs the little step up, trying to catch him doing something there, and gets the kill. Pako getting through the 2 characters, and now we're on the final anchor Rugal.
Wasn't quite sure if that was gonna kill, but just got the optimal damage needed at the end there with the EX arm. Now Rugal gonna come on in, gonna have to go and make a Herculean task seem a little bit mundane if they want to make it to the next game up 1-0. Question is though, if he loses, is he still gonna go random or is he allowed to go back to his main team?
I think he should go back to his main team. It's like Iori, Benny are characters he might know how to play, but Rugal is a very specific character. He doesn't play like, you know, typical quote unquote KOF in the sense that like his tools are a little bit different. So yeah, his tools a little bit different, his combo structure's a little bit different. They're all good stuff, don't get me wrong, but you know, it's definitely a unique character. As he goes back. You know what? God bless him.
Yep. What's the bit?
What's the set?
Commit to the bit, man. Stronger than me for sure. But let's see if they can figure something out here. If it's gonna be, I want to see him get. I want to see him get Heidern. I want to see Heidern and then Elizabeth. Oh, dude, what
his teams are so blessed.
Dude, I need to see the code. I need to see the code now. I need to see the code. No way you got Chizuru Geese Gato. No shot, brother.
So again, Chizuru, extremely strong character. I think she's insane how good she is, but not a typical character still. Like, she is definitely kind of a weird one. To be fair though, she kind of fits Reno's playstyle a little bit actually, of playing more defensive, mid-screen oriented, harassing people. Very good at that.
Yeah, we talked about the button placement too. Those are some good buttons to place right there that Chizuru has. Oh, but the unsafe ender not gonna be a good button to place anywhere. Not gonna die for it though. Pako can't quite make it a lethal mistake, but we can still make Chizuru pay for the jump in, the level 1 reversal. Pako's done a really good job using that as an anti-air. Yeah.
That's definitely something I've really thought about as I've been watching Pako's Duelon, is that level 1 super being used just to not even bother what side they're on. But gonna go to the Geese now. Not the former glory that this character had, but still extremely strong button set.
I want to see him fish for the counter. Like, he's got to do that. If you're randoming into Geese, you got to fish for the predictable.
Well, it doesn't cancel into the level 1. Not gonna matter. Gonna take all 4 bars going into the next one.
Alrighty, so we do get a character with Geese Howard at least, so that's gotta feel pretty good. But now you got to go up against Yashiro, and I mean, even if you didn't have random, that's a tough task. That's a tough task for pretty much anybody.
Yeah, Farsi is really good as a stocking stuffer in this matchup. Just a quick button that really stops a lot of the things that Yashiro wants to do at that range. But you definitely still do feel the pressure if you don't press at the right time. Oh, yeah, it doesn't have that hitbox on the bottom that the EX version does, so it doesn't get the combo there.
All right, chase him down, rolling out of the cross-up attempt. Oh, but big hit here for Yashiro. Put Geese into the corner. This is a tough spot. Here you go. Keep up the Yashiro corner offense. Geese does have access to a lot of bars, so if they find themselves out of there, they could find themselves with a good way to get rid of Yashiro.
Nice back roll. Not going to be able to catch it. Takes advantage. Tack on the level 1. Is that going to be enough? No, just short. Yeah, and has to guard cancel there. Chip's definitely a factor.
Alrighty, 5B, get rid of Geese. Now Gato's got to come in here, but Geese did do some pretty good work. Got the timer down, so not going to be a lot of health coming back there for Yashiro. Still finding themselves in the green, but you know, you got to take the extra credit that you can get up against Yashiro because you want to make sure that you don't have to win a lot of interactions because Yashiro doesn't need too many of those to really get started.
Yeah, this is another character that used to be extremely top tier, but does Rino know how to pilot this version of the character? He's a little bit different.
He does have some pretty good op stopper buttons up against Yashiro specifically, but it's just a matter of knowing how to employ them and not going to necessarily get the chance right there. The clean jump in there. The Yashiro JC comes for us all. We are all equal in the eyes of it, and that is 2-0 Pako.
Yeah, I mean, you're playing against a guy who really knows his team. It's going to be tough. And Clark has options. Oyash usually has damage, so it's not a bad trade-off. And the normal set, you could probably say, is a little bit better for Yashiro, or Oyash, I should say, considering he's borrowing Oyash's. But, or sorry, regular Yashir's. But other than that, you know, it's definitely a test of 2 different play styles to see which one comes out on top.
Oh. That's scary to swing into Yashiro after a 5A, but knowing that we have that reversal command grab is a very good option to have in that exact circumstances, challenging the frame trap attempt from Oyash. And now going to be able to get the anywhere juggle to put Oyash back into the corner. Man, what a gifted conversion that you get as Clark still, and you're gifted with a round 1 win.
Combined with his incredible jump buttons that anywhere juggle for 50%, giving him Oki in every situation, cannot be overstated how strong that is. Going into this next round with almost a full bar and keeping that ball rolling.
Bro, how about Shadow X not doing a darn thing, just waiting for Ronnie to go for jump JCD or JCD round start and then just trip guarding it with 2B like it was nothing. Like he knew that was going to be exactly how that played out. That is some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, once you get into this position as Clark, you can have a little bit more comfortability. Don't have to press the situation because your lead's been created. But Ronnie's trying to make up the difference here. Has to spend some meter, but it's getting it close. Knockdown. Goes for the overhead, not quite enough, but chips a factor. Guard cancels for it. Oh no, okay, all right. Could have been bad, but Shadow tries to do the KOF version of a hero burst and doesn't work out.
I do like going for that Isla delayed overhead, and once again going for that just still trip guard on the jump in attempt from Isla round start. But I do love what Isla and Ronnie did to do the delayed overhead to beat the reversal attempt from Clark, so you don't have the same strict timing. But Isla not going to be able to do too much after that because K-Dash just running away with it. I talked a lot about Clark on the onset, but that mid K-Dash has done a great job in this bracket run for Shadow X.
Nice. Guard bar. Oh, tried to guard cancel through it, but didn't have the startup necessary.
Oh, yep, see, trying to press. Like I said, that 5A, got to be ready for what happens next. That 2C is coming after that.
Tried to switch up the situation, ran into the shatter or the advanced strike. Gonna do it a second time. Been really good on challenging on that second shell. Guard cancel out. I'm good. That pressure's been way too good for Shadow X.
All right, interesting right there. The 5A did happen from Shadow or from Ronnie that time, but now he's taking a minute to pause because he's seen that Shadow X's challenge each time after the jab. So very interesting to see how back and forth that they have been in terms of structuring each other's offense.
Yeah, Shadow gets an opportunity to reset his guard bar. Way less danger now. He's trying to sit in neutral, just find a moment. Gets the run up DP. Nice throw tech, keeps himself alive for a little bit longer, but the tried and true comes back to haunt. And Shadow X on his anchor character with a nice life lead.
Yep. Gonna have to figure something else up against the rival Iori Yagami. Not a whole lot of life, not a whole lot of meter, but we do have a dream when we have the buttons of one Yashiro Nanakase. But you're gonna have to say something different to get out of the corner here because Iori's not taking kind of the words that you had for him over there.
Goes for the cross up, delay throw, pixel of health left, advanced strike, gonna blow through that, but gets the reversal throw. And Shadow's gonna take the first one.
Man, oh man, back and forth between these two to start it off. It was just one character after another. No one really had any clear momentum. A lot of them were just trying to figure each other out, but were acting quickly on each other's adaptations. I do love to see that. And if this goes to a 3-game scenario, we're gonna have to see how deep these layers go between these two. But right now, Shadow X having the early advantage has to feel good because they feel like they have a game plan that can work, that does have some consistency because they didn't necessarily have to do anything too crazy to overextend like we have seen with characters like Clark. But yeah, right now, just having that early advantage has to feel good because you don't necessarily have to go too crazy to get it.
Double patience for Ronnie here. Nice, easy whiff punish. Clark players are prepared for that with how good that button is for it.
Oh. Go air to air into the command grab. Very devious setup because when you get hit in the air, the first thing you want to do is you want to hold down back, and that is something that you cannot do against this character.
Got thrown in the corner. Empty low is worked out time and time again for Shadow. And we need a little bit more. An overhead will be just enough. Once again, Clark's giving Shadow the lead.
A very dominant one at that too. Full health in Clark's pocket right now. But a couple of spray cans and Islas, we'll see if they're able to paint a little bit of a better picture here for Ronnie. Not necessarily going for that round start JCD because Shadow X was just so far into the mind of Ronnie in that aspect. So getting that early advantage in a different way this time around. Already has Clark in the corner, getting the forward throw as well. Oh, air throw.
Great reactions to that. Doesn't have any meters, so just gonna let the safe jump rock here.
Ooh. What a hit confirm right there.
Yeah, he's just spending his meter as he gets it with this amount of life lead, with this character lead. Just trying to extend that timer for as long as possible.
Oh, you welcome that trade too. Oh, that's 2 bars of meter that you maybe didn't want to spend right there. But now gonna have to figure out a way to use them and gonna be able to use it in the Shatter Strike department. A lot of damage, not gonna be quite enough to kill, but I guess for game situation, potentially, if we get on out of there and a couple of 2Cs are gonna still get the job done. Clark threatening an OCV, but still not a lot of health. So Ronnie's anchor coming in. Yashiro doesn't have a ton of work to do before K-Dash comes in, but Clark's still running away with it, man. Oh my goodness.
It's not over just yet, especially with the 2 bars, but the EXDP finally shuts down the Clark. His reign of terror is over. K-Dash's reign of terror begins.
Yeah, we mentioned when K-Dash and Shadow X were going up against Rio in an earlier set, how good it is to have that Iron Trigger to sort of curtail the brawler approach of Rio Sakazaki. But Yashiro being a little bit quicker and with a little bit more enhanced burst options does have a way to sort of counteract that, but it's still a little bit of a tricky situation to sort of navigate your way through, especially if Shadow X is able to place these specials in a good way and be selectively patient in the face of the DP. That should be it, and it is. Shadow X moving on.
This is just the start.
Yeah, that as you mentioned, that far B definitely helps a lot in the matchup in terms of being able to play closer to the opponent. It makes
Dolores are able to do that, but it's easier to say than to do. Enforcement against a character and a player like Llama Master is a very tough task, and let's see what Sparktan does here.
Like what I'm seeing from Levo already, right? Playing around that 2D range, which is going to be one of the only things that can really contest that great King of Dinosaurs range on his multiple buttons there. But, oh, nice conversion off the 5 CD trade.
Alrighty, a couple of palms to the chest right here. Gonna be able to parlay that into a kill as well. Man, oh man, the high damage that you get at that point position for Gato has to really feel good right there, getting that hit and cashing out into a way that got 450 plus on KOD to get him out of there before he could do anything.
Yeah, that part is really great about that character, still intact. Gonna use the EX command grab to take the corner positioning and go for the safe jump. Nice block in the overhead. And then a 2D afterwards. Great stuff from Levo, gets out of the corner. Yeah, punish. Yep, very nice.
We're tied up.
Good awareness right there. Not going to be able to get that hit confirmed that they had against KOD. So Ramon going to be able to punish them for assuming too much. And now Dolores is going to have to come out. And while she has pretty good grounded control with the sand pillars and the like, it's going to be interesting to see what they do to shut down the flying attempts of Ramon. But right now doing a really good job. Having that JB also convert on an air-to-air is pretty good here too. But we'll see what they do on the defensive side now that Ramon can get started.
Oof. Gonna get the full punish for the combo, but that's going to be it right there. Great control from Levo on the Dolores. Oh, not quite. I thought that was going to be enough. And maybe I spoke too soon. The Ramon might get started. Nice block. Gets away from it, and then the jump B to close it out.
Yeah, talking about how good it is in that air-to-air department to shut down Ramon and punish him for going toward the sky. Being able to use that as a jump in is still, you know, I mean, it's not as cool of a feature, but it's effective all the same.
That unique thing about this character, his sweep is an overhead. Kind of a weird situation, but definitely something you have to think about. Oh, got the cross up. Wait a minute.
All right, no level 1, just gonna take the hard knockdown at the end of it. Looking for that 4D, not gonna quite work out there. Not gonna work out with the quick max either. But the good thing here is that you don't have to necessarily engage with Antonov too much to be effective here. And we already got a huge amount of reward off of the disengaging as well. Lulling them to sleep, get the command grab as well. Antonov, you gotta find your way in. You did not. The sweep gonna cap off game 1 for Levo.
Yeah, just unable to find anything big. Was getting a couple hit of those EX bearing waves, but other than that, it wasn't the hit that Antonov wants. And Dolores with such good control, able to get more damage out of those neutral situations than the Antonov. So good stuff. Levo taking the first one.
Round 1. Ready? Go!
Alrighty, we'll see what Llama Master can do. And like we were saying at the onset, just being able to shut down any of the wild options that Sparktan and Llama Master like to do with this Galaxy Anton Wrestling team is going to be the big factor in how we can run away with this set. And Levo's doing a really good job with both Gato and Dolores being able to check the aggression.
Situation's flipped. It's not where you want to be versus King of Dinosaurs. With those big buttons, oh, delay FRD. Nice catch, gonna cash out huge damage on that one. Oh, there it is. The Buster
Finally.
working out for the first time into the command
Finally!
grab.
Oh my God. I was telling him to just put it in the back pocket. He's telling me, shut up. I know what I'm doing with it. Finally getting it to work out. And it leads to a point war victory up against Gato, who was looking pretty good at the onset. But there you go. KOD will just rob you sometimes. That's what the heel will do.
Any tactic necessary to get the W. Does not care what it looks like to you. Once again, gonna go for the knockdown. Stays just for the safe jump there. Last hit. Oh, catches it! I can't believe that reached! Oh my God, no, not like this. Not like this! I'm getting mixed! Oh, nice job, but doesn't get it in time. Guard cancels for the momentum. The 5 CD hits, and that's gonna kill the full comeback. Or I should say the full route from Dinosaur as he keeps going with the momentum.
Holy moly, but the boss is gonna have to come out and say, hey, wait a minute, I didn't book you for 2 matches in a row, man. You gotta calm down a little bit. We've got a full 3 hours we gotta fill, man.
No, Dino says enough. He's going into business for himself. Shatter Strike, or sorry, Advanced Strike, catching him out of the air. The roll, 5 bars, and can't do anything with it. Oh, second, no, doesn't get the punish in time. A chance for Levo. Guard cancel, you have to worry about it. It can kill in this game.
All right, air to air, get him on the other side, get KOD out of here. Okay, had a pixel left. It was getting really scary, but able to still live for just a second longer as Antonov. Not gonna have to check another one of his employees joining into business for themselves. And Ramon, unfortunately, business is booming for him right there. The quick max conversion with the meter to do so. Quick end to that round, and now we're going to game 3. Llama Master answering the call.
Yeah, it was looking all right, and then it kind of just got away from him. That Dino versus Dolores matchup just went the entire wrong way and definitely made the rest of the game way too hard. But we can fix that pretty quickly. So we once again go into this very pivotal point matchup here between Gato and Dinosaur.
All right, slamma jamma, how we open things once again. We have to make sure that this KOD cannot get rolling. Levo just kind of let things get awry, let things go sideways, even though they had the early momentum. It looked a lot like this, but we were gonna see if they can just stop the scramble from happening at any point.
Oh, that time doesn't get more out of that, could have, but it's okay. Nonetheless, closes it out, keeps the meter intact. That's a healthy Gato going into the second round.
Ooh. Violent throw animation, just send him right back to the ground for your troubles. Oh, and the far D to deny the dropkick attempt. That's got to be a really good button to use in this matchup, actually. I didn't even think about that. Far D from Gato, very strong button, and the utility is boundless, as we're seeing right now.
Yeah, not only far D, but also 6B as well. 2 really, really good tools that control that space right outside of Gato's effective normal range. Those buttons work out really, really well.
Keeping up the pressure. Ramon's gonna have to do something to fight back because that guard gauge is starting to get cranked up. Looking to get the offense started, trying to look for a DP, I'm assuming right there, because they didn't really want to overextend right there. Rolling out of the way of the overhead, but still catching them with the flying drop kick on the other side. But a lot of damage being done by Gato. That's what you need from the point performance.
Yeah, and under the 30-second mark, so only getting 150 health back. That's going to give Dolores a good position to take the lead back.
Oh, can't slam the command grab. Level 1, go to level 2 to get rid of him? Nah. Oh, the sneaky JB on the other side, corner steal. Did not foresee that to be in the future for Ramon. I thought they were up there in the corner to where they only had to block same side. That was crazy.
See if this Antonov can finally get something going for his team. Oh my God! Oh, the violence. Oh, not a full combo, though. Level's going to take advantage. Not the same amount of damage, but he has 4 bars. That should be it. Level 2, level 3. Oh, no, just short of that level 2, level 3. Gonna get the level 1, level 3. Gonna be enough nonetheless. Levo understanding the resources perfectly and takes the kill, moving on through the bracket.
Yeah, catching them on the other side because they know they didn't have access to that level 2 that would get them out of jail otherwise, so they had to disengage by going for the roll, waiting in the right time, positioning themselves with that far D to catch them and the quick max to capitalize. Shermie coming in at point, I believe, is what I saw, and Athena going to be in the back. I can see how Athena will get a lot of value up against 3 characters that may have a little bit of trouble trying to navigate through the bullet hell that she could put you in with the Psycho Ball, but maybe that's not even going to be needed because the early vortex that Shermie and Shermie Asesina, the way that she gets that early vortex going with this character, very, very strong.
Yeah, absolutely. It's bad. Whether they get the opportunity to get there at all, but we've seen Shermie has looked pretty good so far on the point, no matter who's in front of them.
All right, try to force Shermie into the corner. Nothing doing. Not gonna attempt any anti-air attempt on that JC. Okay, so after the round animation, I do not believe that you spend any meter on that. So, went for insurance, but still gonna be able to keep the money in their pocket. Yashiro out of there, Shermie, very dominant point win.
Yeah, and once you get this little bit of lead with Shermie, you can take a little bit more risks with the character, and that's when she starts getting unlocked a little bit more. You can go for some of that nasty stuff, but yeah, Shermie's pressure with this character has been so good so far.
Oh, tried to go for the anti-air attempt, but I think it's just a little bit too late while he stood up. But the shatter strike on the anti-air attempt this time around. Oh, good chase down, catching the roll after the 50-50. That was a very, very good coverage there by Shermie Asesina. She read that like a book.
That was really good. Input the forward in case they roll, and got that well done. That was great stuff from them.
All right, slam him down. You like 50-50s? I got one for you. Here we go, level 1, roll. What side? Oh, couldn't quite get the OS right, so we couldn't catch the roll in our own right. So Shermie gets out of dodge, but we still are able to beat the structured bear grab pressure. Good stuff there by Cyborg.
Yeah, if you want to go for a roll away OS on this character, when you do the cross up, you're gonna have to do the tackle, which catches the roll away. The more accessible roll OSs on this character have to be done for more safe jump situations, unfortunately. But I mean, the fact that you have access to them still at all for going for cross up is still really good.
Oh, here we go. Leona getting started. The big damage that she gets now. Going into level 2. Hair glowing red. Gonna be enough? Yes, we do. The full red flash to get the KO to match the hue of the hair. And Shermie Asesina gonna get the early advantage in losers top 8. Can they advance to go into losers quarters?
Yeah, once again, it's just, Shermie's namesake. It's taken a lot for players to get over that hump, and I think that if we can maybe not even just take the character, but balance out that difference a little bit better, it can give the rest of his team a little bit more breathing room.
All right, challenging this time around, not letting Shermie run away with the offensive gambit. It's going to be up to Cyborg to really make sure that they stop the runaway train that is Point Shermie, because right now it is going off the rails in a hurry.
Just representing every single option that Shermie has. What a preemptive 5 CD! Catching Cyborg on the run, and once he thought he had the opportunity, he ran into a brick wall, and Shermie shows the same movie twice, taking it over Yashiro.
You mentioned how much risk or how little risk that Shermie feels or as how much risk that Shermie feels that she can take when she gets that early lead. A bit of confidence for Shermie can go a long way, because once she's able to run that offensive gamut to its fullest, while also being able to be like, you know what, if I take a hit going for this, it's not the worst thing in the world. That can be very killer for anybody playing against her. And you're seeing it right now. Plus frames right here, just keeping the activity going on the offensive end. It feels like Cyborg is just losing control of the pace of this so fast against Shermie.
Yeah, it just hasn't been able to find that great stepping stone, that stopping point necessary to get the ball rolling. Even that trade always going to be in Shermie's favor when he has the character lead. But finally, this is a clean hit. We can get started here.
You force Shermie to hold down back. Be very aware of that EX command grab though. Or the EX anti-air, not gonna catch the jump in, unfortunately. That can be a little bit finicky as a reversal option. Big whiff recovery as well. So that is a death ward that you're signing in the case that it does not work out. But a whole lot of damage done, a lot of extra credit. So Leona does not have a lot of work to do if they want to get rid of their teammate in Ralf.
No conversion there. 3 bars on the side, and Ralf doesn't have anything to speak of at full screen, so it can always start. You see those Baltic launchers, see earrings, make it difficult for this Ralf to get in.
Yeah, she has a lot of op stopper tools going up against what Ralf wants to do specifically to get in and get their offense started. That 2C, that far C, a lot of ways that Leona can sort of derail that plan. And then once you're kind of holding down back and having a little bit of pause and trying to figure out what your game plan is, she's fast enough to cover ground so much to where now you're the one on defense. And you're seeing right there, that was the moment that Leona was able to take it away from Cyborg. Oh, Yash having to come in now and stop this train from rolling.
Oh, got the cross under after the explosion. Spending the EX, just taking the damage. What's the Oki? Nice jump back A. What a privileged button to be able to hit somebody on the way out that fast.
All right, stand CD. Didn't have the charge ready, so he didn't have the conversion. So Yash gets to live. Pump the brakes a little bit on the arc. Oh no, the quick back's not gonna work out, but we still get the full max. Okay, you know what? Drop opportunities. We love to see them. Don't even get the full cinematic. Gonna work out with the regular max mode because the earring gonna blow up and allow the extension. Leona flashing on the windscreen 2 times in a row, and that's Shermie moving on over Cyborg.
But a little bit more options in the movement and the speed, so we'll see how that goes. Actually, no, we are playing the regular version. My bad.
Yeah, no bets now, huh? Loser's life, no funny business now. We're going straight double Yash Heidern. We want to win now.
Understandably so. Levo's presenting a tough wall to overcome here.
Yeah, it's actually pretty funny because of the way that we talk about Rino's playstyle. Levo seems to have a playstyle that can kind of counteract that with the way that they're able to stuff a lot of the attempts at placing the buttons. But right now, Rino just going to be able to be a lot more aggressive rather than trying to poke and prod at a way to open up Gato. They're really just hitting the accelerator pedal and just saying, hey, I'm going to be a problem rather than waiting to play around what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I can tell you from experience that playing against Rino is such a frustrating situation because unless you mix him right, it doesn't feel like you can get openings very easily on him. And this is where Levo's gonna feel like he needs to get something going. Nice chase down from him though.
Oh, there you go. How about that for an open up? Getting the frame trap to work out. And that's going to be death as well. Very meter efficient, keeping 2 in your back pocket, 2 sticks of butter to cook with. And just like that, it's a relatively even game.
Yeah, and that's kind of the ways that you can really take advantage of Rino. He's so confident in his neutral, but usually wants to get back to it quicker than somebody else does. Doesn't usually want to hold down back for too long if he feels like that he can down back into his way out. So now we're sitting back in the neutral, a little bit of a lead for Levo on the Dolores.
Ooh, couldn't quite get the conversion right there. Moonslash going to keep Dolores at bay. Funny thing is, we saw a lot of leverage of that Dolores JB, but this is one character that makes it a little bit tough to employ that button in a really strong way because Heidern air buttons are really good. But I say that, there you go, getting the anywhere juggle off of the air-to-air JB hit, but still not going to do a ton with it, so it's still relatively even.
double jump. I can't believe you blocked that. I don't even know how that crossed up. There's no room for the both of you, but nonetheless, Levo had it on deck. Tack on the level 1 here. Good damage and needs anything in order to close it out.
Look for that command grab. Nobody's sitting back, throwing out projectiles, but playing keep away. This is a tough round to win. Slash hits here.
Oh god. And Levo just taking every little hit and trying to get into a lot with a little bit of meter. It's good. Gotta tell you that like a jump D into the anywhere jungle EX is like essentially hitting a super. Like that's how much damage you get out of just that EX on its own. But closing it out with the Oyash. And now we are left to our Acre characters, but Antonov going into this with 3.5.
Yeah, we've seen what happens when Antonov gets meter. It can get ugly, it can get spooky, it can get scary real fast. Looking for any way to get started with that quick back conversion. Looking for that 2C, that far B, the far D. Just anything to get the party started. Oh no!
Oh, my blood! Oh, it's all gone. Oh my god! When does the scaling start? Oh, EX bearing wave. Anything will do. But this is when Rino shines. I've seen him make this comeback before. He can do it again.
Oh man, and this is a good way to do it. Climax cancel. How is the scaling gonna work? I'm not quite sure if this is gonna be enough to kill. It is! Wow, the yellow flash gonna come out at the end. Oh, Yash gonna be able to take it over Antonov as an exchange of highly damaging combos, one apiece, but oh, Yash getting the final laugh, cackling to the camera and flashing the pearly whites, looking very graceful as we get the early advantage in the set.
Dude, I'm telling you, the amount of times I've seen Rino make like a sub 100 health comeback on this Oyash, it's never over till it's over with this guy.
Repeat as champion, and what a good way to get some momentum to do just that after a comeback victory like that. And early momentum here, already got Gato on the back foot, but Levo doing a really good job fighting back out to that mid-screen spot. Safe ender, just slowly pushing Yashiro back, but Rino fighting back, now getting reclaim that positioning that we had early. Oh my god, I don't even know what side that hit. I don't know what side that hit, my god.
The beautiful ambiguous cross-ups of Yashiro, and he's got 2 of them on this team. It's what makes him so good. One of many, I should say. But Levo's Dolores, man, I think this has been amongst the best characters we've seen in this tournament.
Oh, for sure. Very good space control with the character and being able to leverage their toolkit in a variety of different ways, tailoring them to each character in the matchup has been very strong throughout the bracket. And also very consistent in how they employ each strategy with the character as well. We'll see what they do up against Joshua as they have them pinned into the corner. Rino fighting the way out. Got to be mindful of that command grab, though, if you're going to take to the skies as Yashiro. Level very good at pulling the trigger on that.
See Rino, literally every single time his situation doesn't work out, he back rolls out. He is just putting himself in a neutral position where he feels more comfortable. Rino cashing out on that level 2, trying to take the Dolores, trying to double his character lead. The guard bar getting threatened here, but we'll just take the life instead. And Rino taking one more as he sees the Antonov.
Dude, how about the selective patience right there? That guard bar was crying. And if I'm Yashiro, I'm like, I want to get a guard break there. And I feel like Levo thought that was going to be what happened. So that's why they were trying to use that command grab to catch them, trying to run in to do something to get that guard bar gone. But Rino just being one step ahead, just saying, hey, I'm not going to overextend. I'm going to wait for you to whiff.
Nice buttons here, gonna cancel and get the kill. Levo has a long way to go, and he has 1 bullet in the gun. He unfortunately needs 2, so how is he gonna spend this meter in order to get rid of the Heidern and then maybe the Oyash afterwards? Oh, big jump in! Oh, this is big. How much does he want to spend on this, though? Keeps it cheap. 500, I mean, I say cheap, that was 50%. Oh! No! Oh, wait a minute. Got away with it. Got away with it. There's a chance for Levo here. The chance is way less there now.
Time to guess. Oh.
Yeah, I can't believe that's safe. Like, I really thought that super was gonna work out, but Rino clearly knew that that was gonna happen exactly like that. Gonna take it 2-0, moving on into loser semifinals. On top of which, to deal with Moonslasher as a reversal option or as an anti-air option, all really, really strong tools. And you know, Yashiro, for as great tools as he has, does have to be in your face in order to get stuff done. So we'll see if that comes into play as we catch them trying to get out of dodge. Tries it a second time, but Shermie makes a great read.
All right, stick the earring on him. Good back roll to get out of the explosion. I thought that that was going to be a precarious situation that you're going to find yourself in. You're seeing Ronnie really just hunt down Leona, even though there's 40 seconds left on the clock. They just really want to make sure that she cannot run away at all. Advanced strike as well to catch them looking for a throw on wake up. And now you're a little bit too scared to throw, ain't ya? You're a little scared.
Oh no, you can't be too scared. You always got to have that active defense versus the likes of Yashiro. Goes for it a third time. Oh, a little too soon. The 2C is going to be able to get him out. One more hit. High-low. Oh, the meaty jump A. Her hand is touching the floor. How is she still in the air?
I don't know. That's crazy. That was the meatiest of meaty jump-ins I think I've ever seen. She was on the ground, dog. She was on the ground.
She's doing a handstand. I would call her airborne. What is going on here?
Playing Twister out during my meaty, that's crazy.
And Leona's kind of rolling right now. Catches it on the return. One more. Nice block.
Air to air. And for that far C. No EX slicer gonna work out right there. If we can get an early kill right here, we're very close to doing so. It'll be a little bit easier on the eyes for Isla. Oh, the guard cancel not gonna quite be enough, but we hunt him down, get the lariat.
Yeah, a little bit expensive, but nonetheless the character is dealt with, and Shermie has been spending quite a bit on the Leona, so we're going into the Athena with not too much. However, she doesn't need too much to get the ball rolling. The character does a lot of damage with a little bit.
All right, Athena coming up for the first time that we've seen in a little bit for Shermie. It'll be interesting to see what Ronnie does up against this character. Just kind of biding their time, looking for them to sort of mess up on a jump arc or something. The Phoenix arrow to get out of dodge, and then we get the follow-up after the hit. Again, you gotta know after the Phoenix arrow, Oki, what's gonna be happening to you. They're just waiting for you to try to fidget.
And the thing about stuff that happens in Phoenix Arrow is not the frame data or what it is on block or on hit. It's how fast everything happens. The total frames gives you so little time to react. You have to be on the ball. Oh, okay. We're trying to spend on this. I see you.
Look, I don't want any more Phoenix Arrow shenanigans. I need you gone.
Oh, finds the 2C in the corner, so that's going to be big damage for Athena. 50% in an instant.
No tap, no super. We fight on out of there. The DP again, just letting it rip. Athena gonna work out here. Shermie not even gonna have to come into play for the namesake. Athena gonna hold it down. Leona doing a really good job at point to complement the mid efforts, and that is 1-0 in Shermie's favor. She's looking good to start things off here.
Yeah, I mean, you always don't expect it because this character is like quote unquote zoner, but like, God, the damage that this character does in the corner, it's insane. You just never expect it from her because she doesn't necessarily want to play for pushing you into the corner. She kind of wants to play squirrely, you know, use the teleport, fireball, backdash out of bad situations, but God, when you see it, it's so threatening.
Yep. It's also been this character, Leona, that's just been doing a really good job in that point war. It doesn't seem like Ronnie's been able to cut them off at the pass. Very quick moving character, and I think sort of plays into that with Athena as well. How quick they're moving about the screen has given Ronnie a lot of trouble in terms of being able to calm them down, and Shermie being able to run away with it, getting the full blunt of that conversion, and that is going to be a very strong point win for Leona.
Leona combos are so cool. I love seeing this character executed at a high level. Nice safe jump. Just keeping the pressure going. Nice mash on that close C, by the way, even on hit, recognizing the possibility of the repressure.
Ooh. All right, keeping up the offense. Look at that guard bar. You got to find a way on out of here because it's getting really scary right now.
Oh, the air flip. So unfortunate. Ronnie had a wonderful run under, but they were still in the air. Shermie takes advantage. All of a sudden, Leona is trying to do the OCV.
Who'd have thought? Leona all the way in losers quarterfinals and now threatening an OCV up against characters like Oyash, Yashiro, and Isla. The most unlikely of heroes in the tournament of honesty. We will see if they can keep the improbable run going right now, but right here is going to be stopped short with the EXDP. Oh, whiffing on our own DP in the confirm.
Oh no, not like this. Are we gonna see the mix or are we gonna see the spend? Oh no, drop the combo. Unfortunate, but still good position. Gets the conversion. The super is going to kill a full OCV from Leona Heidern. And Shermie gonna take it 2-0, meeting Rino in losers semifinals.
Unbelievable display from the point Leona there. We didn't even see Shermie a lick. But top 3 is not good enough. We're trying to be the most honest of KOF players here. Who will get that grand finals winner side spot? Shadow X Pako winners finals. First to 3, let's get into it, Sammy.
Who would have thunk? The character that we're gonna have to talk about the most is gonna be Leona, as we do see here in the anchor position here. A threat that we saw from Pako on that winner semifinal side, but like I said, this point war, I think will spell the pace of the entire set.
Absolutely. Can we figure out a way to reclaim momentum if we get put on the back foot early? And we're already threatening stun as Duelon as well, but we might not even get to that point because there's so little life on the part of Shadow X to the point where they had to sort of make a chance or take a chance to get anything going. Nothing doing there. Pako shutting it down.
Good response onto the delay. Overhead throw, both beaten by that jump. Great defense for Pako.
That minute spike to see if they would challenge any pressure reset attempt, but getting the proper 2A punish right there. Big 2A giving you permission to do that at a very good range for Duelon.
Oh, level 1 confirmed. We've seen Pako been pretty liberal with his meter usage despite Duelon being on point. But once he gets this lead, he's gonna go as far as he can, spends the EX to make sure he gets the kill. Pako takes 2 and only gonna need 1 more for the first game.
Holy moly, yeah, the Duelon, many people believe to be the best point character in the game, maybe up there with Shun'ei, but right now looking in a league of his own for Pako, just very dominant to the point where they had full life going into the last character. So Shadow X gonna need Iori Yagami and 5 whole sticks of butter to really make it happen, but they're well equipped to make something happen here. And a taco cake, very slithery, very sneaky indeed, Iori.
Ooh, very efficient use, by the way, of his meter. I had 5 and gonna get the kill with only 2 bars because he does have a long way to go. He's gonna have to be efficient with that meter in order to make the full comeback.
Alrighty, looking for that fireball. Fortunately, Pako being able to sniff that out. Not gonna get the full QM conversion. That's a tough spell though. Had the big hit opportunity. But we're still in a good spot. Just DP in the face?
I know it's game 1 of a 3, but word? That's how we feel?
Established dominance early, I guess. Oh, Trey not gonna give the combo after the Shatter Strike. Couple of taps with the 2B and the 5B. We're still just gonna sit back with the spray cans. Iori, you gotta find yourself a way in.
EX. Just for the meaty setup there. Great mash on the EX Scumgale. Pako making fantastic defensive reads on this first game of the first of 3.
And that's exactly what you need to against characters such as Clark and Iori. If you're just running the same defensive gamut over and over again, Shadow X preys upon that so perfectly, as we've seen so many different times. So Pako being able to have really good defensive attention is very, very strong in this aspect.
where this is the type of place where I fall in love with some of my favorite players and how I learn how to play a little bit better each and every time I watch one of these brackets. You can learn so much from these players. We'll see what we can learn from Shadow, switching up his order quite a bit. The K-Dash on point, trying to deal with the Dulon. And we got the Clark going away to the anchor position.
Yeah, I like the idea because you can play at a different effective range as K-Dash versus Clark. You're very confined to one real big range. That Dulon is actually just really adept at curtailing. You also have access to the DP when Pako is not necessarily ready to really keep it tight with how they want to reclaim their offense. And exercising that button very, very well right now early. So we'll see if Pako can sort of switch the gears so K-Dash does not run away using all those DPs and reversals.
Yeah, you're standing at a range normally where you want to, you see these Ein triggers getting used. You want to use them to sort of stop Dulons doing moves, but at the same time, you got a lot to worry about as K-Dash too. Oh god, yeah, this could start it all. A whiff on a minute spike can mean everything for Dulon. Oh, nice back roll! Good recognition of the mix from Pako.
Man, talk about veterans. That is some really good stuff there. You have to be seasoned to know how to deal with that in the moment. That is amazing from ShadowX to get out of dodge, because that, like you were saying, could have been disastrous. That could have been what parlayed into a Dulon stealing the round. K-Dash and ShadowX going to be able to take that first round. Even though Dulon was getting started, being seasoned pays off.
Like I said, man, all of the benefits that you can see from these players by playing a lot. You be in that inner situation once, and that way when you go into tournament, you're not going to be surprised by it. But Pako closing out that K-Dash. We'll see if the plans work out, because it's not over just yet. Everybody else has to perform on ShadowX's new lineup.
All right. Right now, Iori trying to show that they have a good performance to start out this round 3. Big damage on Isla to get it started. Oh, and then the empty jump low. A couple of hops just to catch you a little bit looking up. And then, yep, looking for that DP as well. Iori not having any of it. That is a very dominant answer from Iori right there. ShadowX looking very nice game too.
Once again, we're seeing that great efficiency from the Iori. Has a meter going into this, but Leona 4 bars. Definitely can close it out here. A lot of resources for this character.
Ooh. For that earring to hold down the neutral. ShadowX trying to play very carefully around it. Finding a spot to get in there. Got the first hit of the record to hit, but not going to get a ton after that. 2C anti-air. Oh. And then checking the slicer with a 2B. That's got to be amazing for checking the grounded approach for Leona.
Huh, gonna add the Rambu towards the end there. I'm quite surprised, actually. Rolls away from the cross-up opportunity. 3.5 bars. Pako needs to find the hit. The Scum Gale does connect this time. Doesn't have the meter to close it out. Catches him on the way out. Leona's still alive. You don't want to give her a chance. Has to spend 2 bars to close this out.
Ooh, yeah, an expensive closeout, but again, giving yourself any chance at life is valuable right now. And you still have another opportunity for quick max, but ShadowX on Clark, man, that's a man over there.
Yeah, for sure. That's a tough thing to beat. Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna tell? You're gonna tell the opponent not to get anywhere juggled? It might be one of the hardest asks in the game, but ShadowX does close it out. New lineup working out, and Clark is able to close it out for the team.
Yeah, that was just a really tough spot to be in as Leona, because if you try that grounded approach, you've already seen that ShadowX has been well adept at cutting that off with all 3 characters. And if you go to the air, like you saw right there, anywhere juggles waiting for you in the future. So it was going to be a very arduous task for a Go Pako to climb that hill, but ShadowX not going to let them do that. Keep the boulder rolling down the hill, make it a harder task to push up. And right now we are even at 1 game apiece, so we are now at a 1st-to-2 situation for who will get rewarded with a grand finals winner side.
We'll see if Pako can make that adjustment now that he's seen kind of the style that Shadow wanted to bring for Pako's Dulon. Definitely can give you some time to maybe make that adjustment necessary, but Shadow starts off strong once again. Just goes for the safe jump, keeps it simple.
Yep, and the big thing about having K-Dash at point 2 as he wins the point war in another dominant fashion is that you do have very good offense as Clark, but there are a lot of interaction points that you're affording Duel on rather than you do with K-Dash, who preys on characters that do not have a meterless reversal, especially when they're devoid of defensive resources. So being able to parlay that momentum in a more consistent way is very nice, but not as nice as getting big damage on that conversion from Isla.
Yeah, definitely needed to get something going. I mean, he lost the meter on the Shatter Strike earlier, so that kind of sucked. But he did close out this round really well. Gonna get the full health back, going back to 100%. Just the difference in meter now the problem.
But still, winning that in 14 seconds to give yourself the full green is very, very nice. But Shadow X, the last time that these two characters played, it looked something like this. The early advantage that just went way in the favor of Iori, and Isla could not fight back. We'll see if they can do something here. Blocking the taco kick, but Shadow X already making their presence known early. 2C to stop the grounded approach. Looking for the taco kick. 5A anti-air.
Yeah, good defense from Pako after the knockdown, but still needs to get his own ball rolling here. That's pretty tough. I mean, although we're not usually known for how Iori plays in that manner, is pretty good defensively. Good DP, 2C's a great anti-air. It can be tough to get in on this character.
Yep, quick retreat options as well. Very, very tough to really take the pace of the game away from him. And there you go, the 2C, not even just as an anti-air, but just stopping the grounded approach. Has done that a couple of times against Isla specifically. And we'll see if Pako's Leona can right the ship, because right now Shadow X is steering themselves into very champion waters.
Yeah, definitely gonna be tough, but this character can be very efficient with the right hits. Oh, that's efficient right there. Spend the level to get huge damage, already 60% down. Oh, wait a minute.
Right back at you.
Just keeping a lockdown there. Oh, that dive. Oh, he let that EX Moon Slasher rip, bro. And that's a charge move, right? So if you're wrong, like, it just goes by the wayside. He was just like, nope, no thank you.
Oh man, yeah, that's lovely for Pako right there. Just being able to have that moon slash in that scramble moment. It could have gotten that big punish there from Iori, but just a little bit at the tip of that 2B range. But the 2B gonna work out for Leona. The trip guard run under, the quick grounded mobility gonna work out right there. Shadow X now finding themselves in the corner. Big damage too.
Yeah, mix didn't work out, but did get some good damage for the max mode there. Nice thing about the way that she structures her quick max. Oh, wait a minute. What's nice about that? Easy conversion into the level 2, and that's gonna be able to close it out. Shadow goes up 2-1.
Bro, this super pisses me off, bro. I don't need to see. I don't need to see. I don't need to see like 5 different angles of me getting tossed into the air, bro. Like I get the gist, bro. I get it.
You're tossing a body, bro. He's limp.
Okay, would you rather that or the one where he runs across 2 football fields before slamming you down?
I actually find running 3s hilarious. So I just, it sucks that you don't have a real good reason to see level 2 running 3s all that often. Because it's, oh God, it's, maybe, you know, the Clark players love it though. You know, they're you know, they put the controller down, they're throwing their hands up for everyone, they're pointing for every running 3.
It's very, very funny. It's just the point I think is what gets me most pissed off, because I'm like, bro, what are we doing? Like, I understand.
You were just there.
Yeah, I was like, why are we back here? Why are we back here? Just get it over with, brother.
We're going this way, and we're going this way. Oh, God. All right, so actually, no adjustment from Pako. We went to member select maybe just to take a quick breather, as Shadow X early guard break means a quick 50% start.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about in that last game, was just being able to introduce less interaction points for the pressure. Makes it very, very hard for Pako to find any way out of there if they don't have a meterless resource or a meterless reversal or a resource to guard cancel. So you're already seeing how that works out in terms of establishing early momentum, but Pako going to be able to get the roll through caught with the 2A, maybe make that something happen here.
Oh, found the mix-up on the dash under. Is that going to be enough? EX is going to be enough, just enough to get the kill. Pako gets one opportunity on a whiff and takes it all the way to the bank.
1-2A is all you need with this character sometimes. You just gotta catch him on the roll, and then that's just a blender waiting to happen. KitchenAid is lining up the kitchen counter for us right now. Just a whole lot of blending to be had. But right now, Iori has been having a whole lot of fun cooking up some really big damage when they've gotten all these hits.
Oh, nice anti-air. Every one of these little hits is extra credit, building money for his next character, investing it into the future, but that's gonna be it. Gets him to spend a bar, so you know, you're not too mad because you're gonna go into this pretty even for considering how the point war started. This is not so bad for Pako.
Yeah, not at all. And I feel like it really does matter against, or in this matchup specifically, because Shadow X seems extremely comfortable. So having as many resources as you can, both in the health and the meter department, is going to really matter a lot. Even if they get that early momentum, being able to fight back with additional resources is going to be huge.
Yeah, Shadow is able to find the first hit. Pako and be able to rebuttal here. Doesn't spend too much, but gonna get the mix afterwards on the restand. The super to kill. No, the special is going to do it. Pako, nice comeback on the character. Now officially taking the lead in this game 4.
Yep, that's exactly what I was talking about. Even though they got that first, Iori got that first hit, it was having that additional resources when they got even because of the extra credit that Duolon gave to Isla that made the difference after that interaction. Isla was able to be equipped to make that comeback. So we're gonna see now with the resources in Shadow X's department with the anchor Clark, can they do something after they're being put on the back foot against Isla? This is a good way to get started.
Yeah, just starting the blender to go. All these little hits adding up so much. And once again, just a little stagger 2B being the opening for Shadow, and how efficient he was to dispatch the Isla. He's got a lot of meter going into possibly his round to take into grand finals.
Is there a scarier button to block in this game than Clark 2B?
God, you might not be wrong, man. It's just like 2B into the world's your oyster. But maybe close B? Close B is really scary too.
There's just a whole lot to be scared of right now, but Pako gonna have to compose themselves and they're gonna try to leverage this game into a game 5. Shadow X trying to really sit in an effective range for Clark, being very, very careful, but not careful enough to not run into an earring. And now that's a big conversion here for Leona. Big health lead.
Oh, guard bar is a big problem though. Ooh, land up on that pressure a little bit. Maybe asking Shadow to make a mistake, but he doesn't. This gives him some room to get out of the corner. An opportunity with 3.5 bars, but the overhead and an overhead. Pako doubling up on those. Ties it up 2-2.
That was really scary because, like you were saying, that was some breathing room afforded to Shadow X with Pako just knowing that, hey, I can try to give himself some rope to hang himself with, and I'll run the risk if he does go for that 5C or that 2C that we were looking for. And he was playing outside of that range too, so he was really hedging that bet, doing a really good job. So now we go to game 5, Pako fighting back. It's just been back and forth, nip and tuck. KOF, game 5. This is the game for it, man.
It's so crazy because it doesn't, and simultaneously these players are the most prepared for it and the least prepared for it, because how often do you do this in tournament but you run this in casuals all the time? The adjustments that you have to run on time and time again, it's gonna meet ahead here. And this point war's been a big deal, right? Pako turned it around in this point war at the last second, and it helped him make up that difference.
All right, here we go. Now just back and forth in this neutral, in this mid-screen. Looking for that Iron Trigger to challenge a 6B. That's got to be something that you really love as K-Dash, just having that Iron Trigger to throw out as a hitbox in front of you. And then getting that stand CD, dual on in the corner. Oh, getting the whiff with that jump over, beating any reversal throw attempt and clearing a heavy button in the process.
Nice, catches him on the frame trap as well for the close at Shadow. Not letting that comeback happen this time and giving his team a good lead to start.
Alrighty, shake of the can. Let's get it into business, Amanda. We have got to get K-Dash out of here quick, fast, and in a hurry, or else we can get some big extra credit here as Shadow X. Already putting Isla into the corner. Has a DP to work with, but is going to opt for the Shatter Strike. Again, it's got to feel so much better when you have Isla on defense versus dual on against this character.
Yeah, not only the DP, but a Shatter Strike that goes immensely far. Both great tools. Being able to be comfortably in this neutral, not have to overextend too much. You see Pako, despite having a little bit of a health deficit with the character, pretty confident in approaching the time that he needs to, and a great conversion on that jump, counter hit jump CD. And we have made up some of that difference with the Isla.
Wow, that might have been something that Shadow X was not quite ready for. Despite, like you were saying, despite that health lead, Pako was still being a problem, and K-Dash didn't have really much of an answer for it at time, because you would think we were trying to sit at that Iron Trigger game and try to find our way in, but Pako just shutting that down before K-Dash can even get started. So we'll see what answers they have for Iori, because Iori's looked so strong against Isla to this point.
Cool. Yeah, not too mad about using that EX move on block, just because it creates so much space for Isla, being able to back up behind it. But, oh, out of the corner, nice to see. Got it to hit. This is big.
Blocks the low, fighting back, going for the last hit of the Rega, but we challenge. That active defense that we were talking about at the onset has re-emerged here for Pako.
Oh, the double jump! And gets the close C whiff. Incredible from Pako, who puts Shadow on his anchor Clark.
Man, oh man, the turnaround from the Isla on the part of Go Pako has been amazing over the course of this set. We'll see what Shadow S can do to stop her from running wild and forcing Leona to come in here, but Pako looking so much more comfortable in this game 5 with Isla than we have to this point, and looking even more comfortable now that they get a hard knockdown with the level 1 conversion.
Went for that delay jump once again, but Shadow recognized it and rolled out of the corner. An opportunity. Just needs to find any hit. That will do. Far C conversion. Only 1 point this time. Show him the brim.
Oh, my bones, my spleen, my everything. It's all cracking, and it's not looking good for Isla, but Leona gonna have to come in. They feel good about the little lead that they have in the resources and the health department. I believe that we are devoid of any meter as Clark, while Pako has access to 2 bars, so max mode is on tap for Leona should she get a hit that she likes.
Nice, goes for the air reset there. Moon Slasher. Plus frames using those resources pretty liberally, as they only need a single hit left. Oh, trying to go overhead. Oh my god.
Shadow X has to find a way in here, because right now Paco's doing such a great job of just controlling the space right in front of them and then getting right over the 4D. Gonna land with the JB of their own. The battle of the Ikari Warriors going to be won by Leona of all characters, and Pako will be able to sit in grand finals winner side off the back of a 3-2 set win over Shadow X.
It makes me so happy. You give me one tournament, I get to nerd out about Leona a little bit. It makes me feel good. But we got we went for the second version of Shermie's team, right? The Shermie on the anchor Athena second, which is pretty interesting. And we got the tried and true Rino on the double Yash.
Yeah, the crazy thing about Leona at point for Shermie is that they have really done a good job of imposing their will with this character. And it's a character that you don't necessarily know for being very domineering in that aspect, but Shermie utilizing the quick mobility and the pace control that she has up against characters that may not necessarily have the ability to stop her from doing so, especially at further out ranges, really has been to her benefit. But we had a clean hit there, it just didn't work out. Oh.
Yeah. Closing it out meter efficiently as well. Good stuff. Rino giving his team an early lead here. Not as much time to adjust, but we'll see what the Athena can do versus the double Yashiro. No fireball to match.
Alrighty, slam him right back down. Oh, Yash going crazy, and Clouded Judgment going crazy, dropping the 20 ball in the match. Rino, appreciate you for contributing to what has been an amazing bracket. Very much appreciated. I'm sure the players feel the exact same. Give them a little bit more incentive, especially when you're Oyash dealing with a zoner, and the zoner gonna actually run up and be a problem for Oyash in this right, and this is a lot of damage.
What a combo, by the way. Fantastic conversion, knowing that he's next to the corner to get that specific combo. Can he tack on the level 1 here? Yes. I like the decision. Gotta give him a good Oki situation. Oh, the read on the throw. Well done. Thinks Shermie kind of sniffed it with the way that he jumped. Little too soon, so it wasn't for a cross up, and little too early, so it didn't feel like a meaty. So that was a great read from Shermie.
Yeah, you could feel that the JC wasn't coming out there, so it was either going to be empty jump low or empty jump throw, and you know, you hedge your bets right there. If you get the empty jump low, you kind of fall out of it. The throw, you beat it like that, and we're going to beat the chest of Athena right there. A lot of sledges of the hammer to the pop star. Yashiro going to win that mid war so fast, forcing Shermie to come out at anchor.
So this is relatively new. We saw Shermie on anchor before, but we didn't get to see her play the game very much. So, but every time we saw Shermie, it gave him such a lead. So can he close it out with the character, especially with 4 bars?
Oh my God, the clear on the 2C. I don't think I've ever seen that happen, because that thing reaches up into the Tower of God. And you cleared that with the JC, got the clean hit after the fact, because it hits for so long after the fact. So Yashiro on out of here, gonna have to go against Anchor Heidern, a character that's not fun for Shermie to play into, but Shermie feels so comfortable right now.
Yeah, that Moon Slasher, yeah, perfect. Thank you, Rino. It's so nice in this matchup, and it definitely gives Shermie a lot of problems. Yeah.
Yeah. No free kicks around here. No free kicks.
I mean, you can think about it like this. 4 EX Moon Slashers wins the game. Or, you know, you could just force the matchup, I suppose. I don't think that's efficient, but you do have a fantastic life lead. A little bit more after the Stormbringer.
Oh, baby, you like guessing games. I got one for you. Step up and play. My favorite game is Heidern, the good old fatal 4-way. Rino going to parlay that into a game 1 victory. So yeah, like I said, Heidern, not the character that you want to see as Shermie at anchor, but you know what? Out of all of these 3 characters, as we go to order selection, who do you really want to rely on up against Heidern if it gets to that point?
Yeah, I mean, we're throwing Athena into that anchor position. That's something we've seen before. So Shermie now in second. I'm maybe slightly surprised that we didn't see the Shermie on point, because it's been that was really good for him earlier on. But we did see the switch up. Heidern on point now to match the change of pace from the Shermie on anchor. So we'll see if this can do the same for Rino, give him that early lead.
Yeah, and you also have Oyash at anchor, so that if you get that touch, it really does matter, because you either get that first touch into the guess for game situation that dump out the meter, or you just get the target combo hit that leads into the climax. So Oyash, a good character to depend on, especially if you see that this doesn't work out, you just go back to the order that won you that first game.
Nice conversion there. Just for the safe jump. Keeps the plus frames going. A lot of pressure. Guard bar's a big problem. Oh, the throw tech. Roll tried to go for the guard bar, just a little short on the damage necessary to get the break.
Oh, trying to pull one over on her old man, but he's been there, done that many a times, was just ready for it. And now we're just sitting back, playing a little bit of the waiting game, waiting for Leona to do something. Oh, try to advance strike it. That was a big whiff there, but we were in the recovery of our own fireball. Oh, baby.
Wait a minute. Right, wait a minute. We can still make up the deficit. Just gonna need one more to delay. Explode slasher, the 2C catching. Shermie on the jump. The closeout from Rino in the clutch.
Man, oh man, that was definitely a father-daughter duel that was very living up to the hype because it was so back and forth. Leona had the advantage. Heidern took it back. And now this is exactly what you don't want. If you're gonna give a character extra credit, this is the matchup that you want to do it in. Heidern, Shermie's gonna have to figure out a way to get any sort of momentum because that is a wall that is very tough for her to approach against.
Oh, back into the corner again, stealing some life. Woo! That was perfect. That was literally perfect spacing. Like he's seen that exact block string and knew exactly what was gonna happen afterwards. He needed that to give himself a chance of staying in this tournament.
For sure, because if they were down 2 characters against Point Heidern that was still going to be getting a lot of health back after the fact, it was going to be very dangerous for Athena because that is a very tough hill to climb. Oh yeah, you're not, look, these 214Ks, I've seen them. I don't know what you're trying to pull over on me, but it's not going to be me today.
These delay hits are working out. That time just getting the meaty. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, the namesake coming in the clutch once again.
Bear grab.
EXDP, delayed jump in, trying to catch something. The guard cancel wants this one. The EXDP, a pixel of health necessary, and gonna do it on chip. No more guard cancel money, unfortunately, for Shermie. But that is going to be one more character for the tournament. Shermie on the Athena.
Oh, baby, getting the level 1 to hit, but that is an expensive reversal for Athena. Don't trust the DP there, of course, so you rather go for the level 1. Does clear out Yashiro, but oh, Yash, I mean, that meter deficit has got to feel bad.
Oh, thankfully you're a character that spams specials, but at the same time, 4 bars means 2 hits. It's over. You don't want to give him a chance. Oh, no, not like this.
You want to say spamming specials, but those specials give you license to air and license to kill if you clear that fireball on a good read. This is tough.
Oh, doesn't want to be too greedy. Spent it on the guard cancel roll to get out of the corner. Oh my god. Any far B, any 6B, any hit will do it.
And the worst part is Athena can't just play keep away. She has to do something. That's why you see the EX Phoenix arrow delayed right there to try to get offense started after the fact. No, the command grab whiffing! Oh no, not like this. Just way out of the range, and it's gonna be the command grab of Oyash that is going to close out the set instead of Athena. The red flash going to seal the deal. Rino going to advance, trying to repeat history with a 2-0 victory.
Worst feeling in the world is being right and missing your run-up, man.
Characters. Leona's still in the bracket, winner side. I know K-Dash is still here, Clark's still here. Like there's a lot going on right here, and we're gonna see what's going on here. Losers finals to see who will get a match against Pako and Grants between Rino and Shadow X.
Still sticking with that K-Dash, maybe riding the momentum from he played before, because the K-Dash did look good on point. Has a lot of merit in terms of the control that they can offer for the matchups that he's in. He's looking pretty good so far. Nice. Just keeping that eye trigger pressure going and not giving Rino an opportunity to get their game started.
And it is a tough ask, especially early on in the pace of the game when K-Dash can get their offense going. It's tough. Oh, clearing the 5C once again, but just a little bit too high. Not going to be able to beat the recovery of that button, but still in a really prime position here. Rino does have Heidern, so there's a way out for him, but it's not easily given here. Shadow X covering everything right now.
Oh, spending on this one needs to do something to get back into this, and a Stormbringer will help recover some life and a good 50% combo. Oh, the pressure. Guard bar is definitely a big factor here. Takes the hit. Oh, no anti-air. I'm so surprised. Gets the advanced strike to work out. Gonna need one more though. Same side once again. Rino gets the mix going and takes care of the K-Dash.
Yeah, I don't care who you are. You were just dead there. I don't care. Like that is a very, very messed up situation to be put in. And Rino knew that because they didn't really do anything fancy, didn't spend any meter to clear out the health gauge of K-Dash. They just said, hey, I just need the health bar to go away after the fact. But that's so tough. The health bar gonna go down monumentally for Iori. That EXDP, not quite sure, might have wanted the EX Fireball for plus frames.
Yeah, definitely on accident. Woo! Very nice. That does have projectile invulnerability, so that's a good use of that tool right there, but didn't get the full combo, unfortunately. Shadow still keeping it in mind.
All right, hopping out of the way of that far B. Ooh, swinging, trying to get Rino to walk into something, but that is a player that does not do that very easily. You got to goad him a little bit better than that, but we just run up, get the jump in, end things with the Stormbringer. Heidern breathing still.
It's just such a... Heidern just gives Rino exactly what he wants as a play style. Just great buttons, good neutral control, and the ability to do these Stormbringers and run good mix time and time again, and he never overextends on them. Cool, my mix didn't work. Back up, we're back in neutral where I'm so comfortable in my game plan.
And the best part is it's a really good way to keep the offense rolling against a character like Clark because of the ambiguity of the different ways that he could mix you. You have to be very precise and intentional with the inputs on your reversal as Clark. So it's a little bit different than if you had just a normal safe jump against Clark. So that's really good for Heidern in this matchup specifically.
Yeah, I mean, he's just letting these 6Bs run on block. He doesn't even press. He knows that he doesn't need much. And you'll take that throw for sure. You know, it sucks to lose your character, but you're going into this final round with 4 bars. And I think, yeah, we're about in kill range for level 2, level 3 off of a nice quick max. Yeah. Yeah, all right, well, you know, ask and you shall receive, apparently.
Oh my gosh, just so quick with the jump in JA. Come on, man. It's almost, you willed that right into existence, but you know, there's a term called instant gratification, but come on, dog. That was way too instant.
It's the comfortability of knowing your win con is so easy, just lets you make decisions like that, right? Because you're like, any hit, it doesn't, I'll take a hit or two, especially you're playing against Clark, right? The reason why we don't see him on anchor all that often is because his damage ceiling is quite low. He doesn't really have the explosion that characters have like Oyash, right? Who can deal a huge damage off of most of his hits. Clark doesn't have that same comfortability, that same amount of damage that Oyash does. So in that respect, he has a little bit more leeway to go ham in those situations.
Yep, beautifully said and beautifully illustrated. And that point was Rino to get that first game. So we'll see if we can get a beautiful performance from Yashiro of the regular variety. So right now, Shadow X fighting back that chase down and counter hit 5C right in the chest.
Oh, you love a roll catch that's just running forward, man. That shit makes you feel good. Like, I knew exactly what you're gonna do. It's not an OS catch. I'm not just getting a throw. I'm getting a whole ass close C punish on your roll.
Yeah, the big red letters to boot. Gotta feel good. It's gotta feel good too because of the early momentum that's now gone from Yashiro. About even in life. Oh, but Yashiro just sticking out the good old command normal. We are ready to confirm as well. That is Yashiro still going to be able to win the point war, but K-Dash was fighting back to make it a little bit easier for Iori to come in.
Yeah, I don't know. This guy Rino, like, I don't think there's a person in the world who places his 4Bs and 6Bs better than he does. Like, it just feels like a wall, but able to close it out that time. Shout out on the Iori. See if he can get anything done here. This is kind of a weird situation for Iori as a character because he wants to go in, but he doesn't need to. It's a little odd. So we'll see if he can get anything done here as Rino taxes that guard bar quite early. And Shadow tries the Rekka mix and it doesn't work out.
Yeah, just holding down back. And I think that sort of plays into the hand of Rino, especially in that situation. As we get the whiff on the command dash, we get the throw after the fact. But it sort of plays into Rino just being like, hey, I've got the early advantage. I don't necessarily need to press right here. So if you go for that third hit, I'll just block it out.
Again, having that comfortability, knowing you don't need to take those risks, does a lot for you as a player.
There we go.
Oh my god. Oh, wait a minute.
No shot.
Wait a minute. It's not over yet because the Stormbringer's going to bring a nice Oki mix. Yeah. Yep. That's truly the icing on the cake for the characters. Not only the character has incredible buttons, solid fundamentals, some of the best specials in the game, but his Stormbringer that steals health from you also gives him ambiguous mix-ups.
DP safe ambiguous mix-ups, by the way. So that DP was actually not going to work regardless. So, yep. I am Heidern. Not the best character in the game, by the way.
Like I said, just it accentuates this guy's playstyle so well, though, right? That 2C just being the menace of a button that controls the space, giving him that mix opportunity, overextends just slightly, and then, yeah, we'll go for bar, especially when I have 4. The 2C is going to close it out. So he has a lifeline here, 4 bars. Gonna get 250 health back. Not a lot of meter on Reno's side. There is a chance here.
Yeah, much better chance than we had the last time around, where Yash had a was very affluent in the resource department. Now Shadow X has the advantage here, and now has the position game as well. Ooh, empty jump into the edge command grab. Okay, we can really get it started here. This is a very scary spot for Rino to be in right now.
Oh, air flip though, gonna take advantage. Level 1, level 3 is going to be enough. All right, we're gonna see the 2s. I'm okay with that. Throw him 3 times. Finish.
What a stellar fight!
Oh man, there goes that man Clark still. And that was the difference, like you said, having the meter advantage this time around versus Yashiro coming in where it was basically just one touch into death. There's a lot more that Rino had to think about and just didn't have that same comfortability, didn't have that same freedom to know that, hey, I just need that one JA to hit and that's game. Shadow X parlaying that pretty well, just saying, all right, now the ball is in my court now and I'm gonna really make sure that I score with it.
That was literally the difference of that guard cancel spending on the level 1 super. He doesn't spend that super and he has 2 bars going into it. That hit turns into a max mode, he dies. And instead, he has that 4 bars that, and Rino only has 1. That means he needs to find a clean hit in order to combo into super.
Good point. Yeah, it's just little things like that just add up more than you think. It is crazy how it manifests later on in the set. Right now, we are in the present moment, and the present moment is Yashiro just running the gamut that we all love and know him for. Oh, but the conversion right there. K-Dash answering the call.
Oh, that conversion was super sick. Rino bets it on the straight afterwards. Oh, the TP over the 6B! Yo, that's because he knows he's good. He knows he's gonna space that perfectly, that he puts that DP out in that spot.
Oh, the 2B check. Oh, try to go for it again, but the very quick adaptation. I love that. I love that. Just instant adaptation on both parts. Oh my God, how can you not be romantic about fighting games?
Just A fantastic read from both players. I cannot believe it. Gonna be able to close it. Oh no, just a little short. Gonna need one more hit. And you see Rino's mashing. He does not want to get thrown. A lot of 2Cs, close Cs to make sure that Shadow doesn't sneak one in there.
All right, yeah, sticking out that 5B to stop any reset attempts right there. Very interestingly enough, I haven't really seen Rino go into the stand CD department to reset pressure to check that 5B. Maybe they just don't feel like Shadow X is going to do an option that would lend itself to that point. But they're just going to see that later on in the set if they get another chance to run offense. But right now, it's all Heidern. That's been the star of the show for Rino so far.
Yeah, Shadow has a little bit more meter here too, so we're seeing some of those EX claw combs working out as the projectile invul move that's plus on block, so definitely a good tool there. And a lot of trades, meets it there. Oh, tried it, Fardy Max, didn't work out, wanted to get something started. And Rino's gonna run out the time, fade away, jump CDs.
Oh! A little bit too high, got the throw. Now Iori can get started. Fireball gonna hit, not quite quick enough to capitalize on it, but we get the Rekka, EXOTG. Here we go, fighting back with the 2A. The wake up, Moon Smash gonna whiff. Oh my God.
A pixel of health left meets it with the fireball, the EXDP. After the fireball clash, anything you do is gonna get beaten by this. And Shadow closes it out in a last ditch effort. I can't believe it. What are these decisions? What are these? I had something to say like 10 seconds ago. I completely forgot it because they're going nuts.
Oh my God, and it could go even crazier right now. Oh Yash, dominant in the meter department, looking like game one all over again. Looking for that same JA, but Shadow X ready for it this time around, not gonna commit to anything, but wake up with the command grab. Rino now imposing their will offensively. That might be all she wrote, folks.
It's gonna be a little short, but it's gonna, oh my God, it's gonna be so much damage. And he's gonna save a bar afterwards. He's not even tapped out yet.
Oh yeah, good call. I was like 5C starter, that's a lot.
Oh, wait a minute. It's not over just yet, just because of the control that Clark offers, but these trades, Rino knows that any hitbox will do, and he goes up 2-1 in this first to 3. One more to make it in the grand finals.
Yeah, man, that is tough for Clark to try to right the ship there because of the way that Yashiro can represent themselves in that situation. So many different buttons that they could throw out. Again, you have access to the same buttons that OG Yashiro has, where you can just throw out those far Bs if they try to go on the ground. You could throw out a lot of different high-reaching buttons as well. There's just a lot of different ways to stop Clark from having to do something in that moment, which he had to do something.
Rino, I think just a couple of really strong player reads there towards the end, made great calls. And right now, playing with a little bit of momentum here, this has to be the point where Shadow stops it, bet it on the DP, and that's gonna be it.
Oh man, that initial read, Rino banked that from Shadow X and has not stopped cashing out with it, just knowing, all right, they're looking for a gap to challenge that DP, because I understand the oppressive nature of the Yashiro offense and how Shadow X is trying to find any way to use the DP to get out of there, and they have just really leveraged that very well. And just look at the way that they're keeping Iori pinned down. The momentum for Rino right now is boundless, but Shadow X trying to steal that right back right here. Empty jump low into a whole bunch of damage.
I do like that already Shadow's playing for efficiency here. He's not going to ham on the meter spend because he knows he's already put himself at a big deficit here. Oh, not quite for the whiff punish. The straight, the confirm into the super. This guy is nuts.
Ooh, good sweep right there to stop the reset attempt. That's a good button right there if you want to check anything that Yashiro's trying to do to jump it or to get in rather than a jump C, which we don't really see Rino do a lot of. So Shadow X still minding the player habits, even though down and out, not all the way out, still keeping that mindfulness to them.
That that 2A, man. Oh, that didn't combo, but the ambiguity of how high that was and how jump C works. Shadow X wasn't ready for the side that he was going to land on, and it still closed it out. Rino with a full character lead, and Shadow going to Clark to save the day.
And here we go, the space control. This is going to be tough to navigate. I say as we get the clean jump in, Shadow X biding their time, finding the right time to clear the projectile. Oh, was looking in the scramble for the command grab, but Rino playing around that. Guess for game potentially, guess for the set, guess for your tournament life.
Oof. Didn't have the down charge ready to close it out, a little too far for the EX Stinger, but the dash across will do it. Rino on the back of a clutch game 3, solid game 4 to put himself into grand finals in an attempt to repeat his Tournament of Honesty championship. However, she is relatively solid as a character. She doesn't have a lot, but she does have some good buttons, right? Far D's really good. Jump CD, incredible air to ground angle. 5 CD also really good. Has just an access to an overhead whenever. So those things are pretty good.
Yeah, and I guess you also have barrier to counteract the JC that Reno's trying to get at with Yashiro. So there is some potential. The problem is if you get pinned down or you have to try to play that mid-range game against Yashiro, that's where she really falls apart. And if we can leverage this situation that we have her in right now, it gets really scary.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of one of the bigger issues, right? This character just doesn't have a lot to respond to. And on point, she has even less without the resources. And so we tend to see her actually, if you do play her second or anchored, because she does have some funny setups into raw blue max, and that part's pretty cool. She has some crazy cash out combos, but not gonna see it here. The Dulon, however, that's been working out for Pako throughout the entire tournament. Let's see if he can make up the deficit for the Liz.
Yep, for sure. Gonna have access to more meter than they would have if they were at that play position as well. So we'll see what they do to leverage that. One of the things that they've gone to in the well with that added meter has been the reversal level 1, especially as an anti-air, like you see right there against the jumping Yashiro. Look, man, they invite me on here for a reason. I've seen my fair share of games.
I might have played the video game once or twice, but you are totally right. That is something we don't see from every Dulon, though. That's why it's notable. Because normally we see them try to sort of either meet them with a 2C or an air-to-air. This has been a consistent good answer for jumping, but great damage from Rino here, cashing out on that hit. But not going to be enough for the kill as Pako gets the toe tap to close it out and keeps his Dulon alive.
Yeah, interesting. Gonna see if we can keep it going against Heidern, because this is a Heidern that can now sit back because of the dominant health lead that Yashiro gave to them. But here we go. Very good full jump right there. Now we can get started here, get the ball rolling, get the blender going. Like, now you gotta guess, but you still have EX Moon Slash. A charge input against this character has to feel so nice.
Yeah, you can mitigate that left-right issue with just holding down and timing your reversal properly. Once again, we're seeing an anchor Rugal. This is definitely not something I expected. Oh, all right. Just input it. I mean, he does win Fireball Wars like that. Can get a lot of damage by just using that level 1 into soup, or Fireball into level 1.
Got that shield too. Oh, but we're shielding against the EX Genocide cutter. Now cutting through that health bar of Rugal. Gonna put them in that guessing game one more again. Same side. Rino gonna take game 1 with the Heidern, finishing it out. Of course, why not? We'll see what Pako goes into. Do we get the same team that we saw winner's side, or do we keep it rolling with the Liz and the Rugal?
Yeah, I think Liz is playable, but I really do think you're giving yourself a hard time. This I think her main issue is that she's just not complicated. Like, in the sense of, like, she doesn't have much to offer. So you know what's gonna happen. She's gonna jump CD you, bro. Like she's not gonna do anything. Like I mean, that's just the truth of it. Like her best tools are far D, 5 CD, jump CD. No, we got a full
Oh
turnaround.
yeah, no, they went. Okay, so wait a minute. They got dual on random.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I wish
I
my
need to
randoms worked
see
like
the
this.
code. I need to see the code. I get random. I'm getting Shermie. Like that's what I'm getting.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm getting the character I have like 3 minutes on, not 300,000 hours.
I'm getting Billy.
I would like to get Chris. I put a little work into this character. I think he's better than people say he is. He's just, yeah, there you go. I think he does Yashiro's game plan, but like faster. And you know, not as good obviously because he doesn't hit, but he has a lot of the same frame traps.
Yep. Also a scramble god. Very, very good at catching the opponent unawares. And unlike Liz, like you were saying, the linearity of the character was her downfall. Chris has a lot of different ways to give you varied looks that you have to adjust to in the moment. As you kind of saw right there, the DP follow-up was very much answered there by Yashiro. Tried to go into the variability of it, but not necessarily biting this time around. Yashiro and Rino just holding down back for longer than Chris might have wanted.
Okay, I will say this, I don't like this King very much as a 13 and 14 King player, but like, I will say that every person's played King at least once. If you've played KOF long enough, you've thought about chucking fireballs with this character because it's absurdly fun. However, after they got rid of her reversal, I think she's been a struggle bus ever since, unfortunately.
Yeah, seeing Liz and King in grand finals and kind of getting run through kind of breaks my heart. And now we see Anchor Shun'ei. This is a set of sets for sure. But you know what? Hey, let him cook, get the momentum going. We'll see what he can do. Not necessarily gonna have a ton of. Okay, hey, I'll give it up.
That was sick. Counter hit confirm run up far A. That's dope. That's less dope. That does not work.
Oh yes, the safest of jumps right there. Not going to allow the reversal attempt from Shun'ei. Now pinned down, and yeah, that's gonna be it. Just running right into the loving arms of the heavy button from Yashiro. It comes for us all. We got the Yashiro CV, and now Rino up 2-0 against Pako, threatening the reset.
I think I know what's happening here. I think we're getting the fight. Yep. We are legitimately making this tournament all on a single set because Rino did this to him at winter semis. Paco's gonna do it to him. We're gonna decide this entire tournament on a single first of 3.
That's, you know what? For the love of the game. Oh my God, it's Billy.
Okay, all right. I will say I don't hate Billy as much as I hate Liz. I'll be honest with you. I think this character is tough to play, but I think he at least has something to bring to the table, which is range and some annoying pressure.
Yeah, funny enough, Shun'ei saw some value in this character. We saw Shun'ei play them in SWC, not City of the Wolves. We saw them play Billy KOF15 in SWC for KOF15. So there's something that people are seeing with this character, or at least a few players are seeing. So we'll see if we can get a little bit of an idea here, but nah, it's just gonna be Yashiro running over him because much like the other characters that we've rolled on the wheel, they have their advantages, but once they're blocking against Yashiro, it is tough, and the same can be said for Jenny. Right here.
It's been a while since we've seen this character, but once upon a time, we saw her quite a bit.
Yeah, once upon a time, this was Evo.
I played her during that time. She's super fun, but she definitely lost some of that pizzazz going into the last patch.
All right.
Oh, wait a minute.
Nice anti-air with the hind. There we go. Go for the safe jump. A little bit off with the cross-up JB attempt.
Oh, the conversion. This guy Reno's so good. No, he's killing her. That's so mean. mean, bro? Come on.
Why would you not? Why would you not? Why would you not? Like, just kill her.
Oh my god.
Get her out of here.
Oh, that's because he had a. Oh, whatever, man. Sure. Like, I agree with you, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. You're like, he can finally get the kill on the character, but I guess Clark will do it.
There you go. Look, getting some inspiration from Shadow X, who he saw square off against Rino earlier. So we'll see if the wide-brimmed man can figure it out. But right now, saluting the Heidern coming in, the specialist of this character, of course. And we saw a lot in the set between Shadow X and Rino previously, how this can be a little bit of a struggle, especially if you don't necessarily have a lot of ways to represent yourself.
Nice, yeah. Good recognition with the double jump there. Ooh. Let me tell you, I will say, as somebody before, I was never a Clark player, so when I picked up Hinako, and she has a very, very similar tool to bring inside her, it's a power that gets you drunk. I will tell you that much. Like, to have an invincible move that gives you Oki, it's like a command grab that gives you Oki. It feels like juice, man. And so I'm sure, like, to some degree, you're like, I'm just gonna do the Frankenstein because that shit works. It works on me. It has to work on them.
Oh yeah, no, like I get hit by this all the time. So surely in my experience that it will work out for me. But no, I definitely understand that. Funny enough, none of the characters on my team for KOF have a DP. So whenever I play Rio instead and I switch to him, I'm letting that DP fly like gangbusters. I'm just like, bro, this feels amazing. How do you guys play without this? How do I play without this? Anyway, speaking of characters, I think now that we have the grand finals reset on tap, we are indeed going to get the real deal Holyfield heavyweight bout between the champions that we know these two for. Double Yash and Heidern for Rino, and then of course the duo Lan, the Yashiro and the Isla for Pako. Oh man, now we're getting the real deal. First to 3 grand finals reset, because what's a KOF bracket without that?
At least we got here quickly. But we're, funnily enough, after games, this is game 6 between these two. We're gonna see the tournament decided on a single versus 3 in our true grand finals. We'll see how this one goes down.
All right, big thing here in this matchup is definitely going to be who can get that early advantage, because both of them don't like blocking against each other, because A, mix on dual on side, and then B, Yashiro pressure on a character that has to get guard cancel to get on out of there. Very, very tough. And you're going to see the ladder here as we get this level 1 confirmed. Big corner carry, big damage. Ooh, level 1 reversal though. Been really good with that.
Yeah, I get some damage, but it's not a lot. That's definitely a big issue here. Some of that resource management is going to come into play when you're playing at this highest level. So you're only getting like, what, 120 damage because not all the hits connected. It's a tough spend for 100 or for a full bar. But Rino, nice confirm there towards the end, gets the kill. Pako tries to return with his own Yashiro.
Yeah, the out reward factor for Dualon can be quite rough. So now we have the Yashiro mirror having a genuinely equal way to upset that, or to set that balance. But here we go. Caught holding down back. Even though you have that DP and you have added meter, this is still Yashiro pressure. It's still oppressive, and you're playing the character. You understand the danger that you're in if you're wrong on a press. So Shatter Strike couldn't quite get it confirmed after the fact. So we just roll on through, put the other Yashiro in the corner.
Nice, dude, I'm telling you, like, I don't think there's a better player in the world who presses that button. It's just like, he just shows how to play footsies with this character better than anybody. Absolutely. Thanks.
Yep. that is a very, very good illustrative point in that exact moment right there. Being able to stick out a button for you to go them into forward movement and then run into an even more rewarding button, taking them all the way to the corner. But big reward on this hit too. Isla now going to be able to take a crack at that life bar, but oh, we're going to get the life bar cracked wide open at Yashiro. Big whiff on that level 1. Yeah. That's very tough for her, and it's pretty much all she wrote. Oh, but the DP on the overhead attempt.
He would try to do it again. Oh, the EX beating the fireball, something you see very rarely, but it is a tool that he has in his back pocket. Rino gonna close it out.
Yeah, the funny thing was I saw Isla kind of back up, and like something in my brain just said, something tells me that she can't do this against him. And then he did the big advancing skill, and I was like, ah, yes, I forgot. That is a factor that you have to consider against this character. It's a really good use of that tool right there in that moment.
You literally never see EX Sledgehammer. Like it's just because like normally you play him on point. He usually is playing for efficiency, so he wants to convert most of that meter into damage rather than utility. So I mean, you know, you'll forget about it for sure. But now used in game 1 here, this reset, we're gonna definitely keep it in mind as Rino trying to knock on the door here, and the roll chase, man. You cannot get away from his Yashiro.
Nah, man, open up. I got some good Girl Scout cookies. I got a good deal on these. You got to open up. But right now, slamming the door right back on it and trying to reverse fortunes right here. Going to be able to show them something sweet here with a little bit of momentum here, pinning Yashiro into the corner with a little bit of damage. But like you were saying, that reward factor kind of showing its head right now because they got that hit. But now when Yashiro gets the hit right back, it's a different ball game.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big difference is that this character, Dual Launch, he trades a lot of the efficiency that other characters have with meter and damage for more ranged options and usually just overall better neutral control due to that range. But once this character gets in on you, man, he's going to hurt as Rino trying to tack on that tally, make it a 5 because he is rolling with this Yashiro.
Yeah, so we got to fight on back right here. Now finding the right time to place our reversal. Not going to get guard broken this time around. Trying to clear it, but nah, nothing doing here. Rino just ready. Going to get that level 1, put the other Yash in the corner. The clone, the imposter, now being able to reset to that stand CD. I was wondering when that was going to be showing itself as a pressure reset attempt. There it is. And Rino ready for the second follow-up and punishing it accordingly, threatening yet another Yashiro CV.
Yeah, I mean, he just plays around that rush punch extremely well. Yeah, it's negative, but all the options that he's shown throughout the tournament, throughout this set, even in the first grand final set, it's become a big deal and something that Pako's been thinking about. Nice little stagger pressure there. Pako finally finds that big opening, dispatches the Yashiro after 5 characters.
Yeah, that could be huge. Again, Yashiro, a very, very scary character with momentum. We kind of talked about it with characters like Shermie and others that when you get that early advantage, as we get the DP through the snap of the fingers, really good stuff here for Pako, but if you give them any room to front run, it can be very detrimental to your health. So being able to right the ship, force Heidern on out, and now getting a health lead on him, huge for Pako right now.
Whoa! Oh man, I didn't know Stinger armor was that good. Oh god, that's a bit unfortunate on Pako's side. Oh, did he catch him? No, he's out on Isla. No, he still got hit on the way down. Oh, kind of checkmated him in that situation. Rino going up 2, doubling his lead, and needs 1 more to repeat as the Tournament of Honesty champion.
If he spaced that for the full jump, he's actually cracked, because I was just like, there's only one really way out of this. If you hop, you're probably going to get caught by the tail end of the pinwheel, and he would just run up behind it anyway. But if you just space that out for the full jump, that was really, really good, being able to position yourself to cover both both sides with that 2C. So, I mean, Rino just does such a great job with Heidern, especially of getting you in that checkmate scenario. And it's just like a damned if you do, damned if you don't scenario when you are up against him with a health lead and a character lead, especially.
Yeah, he's just like I said, like his neutral comfortability, I think, is on another level. So whenever you put him into that position with these characters, he just feels like he can always make the right decision, and then even then, it's hard to make him make a wrong decision. That's really the difficulty versus playing this guy, is that the comfortability he has once he puts himself into neutral, which should be like even, right? You're in neutral, quote unquote. That's what the term says. But like it feels like it's always in his favor, and he plays the characters to make that happen.
Round one.
Yeah, it is just ridiculous to kind of upset that apple cart. But here we go, trying to prevent any bit of sweep action. We're going to switch into the Leona, so we're going back into the tried and true. Yashiro is not going to work out for them. Didn't quite get a lot of leverage with that character up against Rino, and not going to get a lot of leverage out of that guard bar either. Rino, once again, just cranking through that so easily, so early.
God, we just broke guard bar and we're already at like 60% on the guard bar again. I don't know, man. It's just like you have to make a decision on some point on this character, and I can't say that it's easy. And he just hit the close save. He just knew exactly what to do at that moment. You finally felt like Pako had an opportunity to get some momentum going, and it stuffed out at the last second. Rino once again taking bodies with his Josh, bro.
Yeah, and of course, you know, against any Yashiro player, they're buffering the command normal behind that heavy button because, hey, if it's a throw, we break and we reset the situation. If I get that C to hit, oh, baby, that could be it for you. And that's exactly what happened. And it could be very dangerous right here for Pako because we're already finding ourselves up against the wall here. Looking for that level 1. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Had to spend it, but that is not a lot of damage for that much bar. And try to go for it again. This time we keep it safe. Big hit, get the jump in for the added damage. Rino is just, I mean, playing pretty much damn near perfectly right now.
That the little optimization so he can keep the meter going into the next round, like it might matter because he's going into this interaction with Leona with a bar like that could potentially come into play here.
One more character sits between Rino and repeating as champion of the Tournament of Honesty. Is Leona going to put a stop to it, or is the king gonna reclaim his seat on the throne? Yashiro trying to bulldoze their way through to make it happen right now.
Oh, ran into the EXE ring. Spent meter, got the cross up, no confirm though. Finally, Pako gets stopped right into the far C, into the confirmation. Stamp of approval. One more kiss. Goes for the throw. The advanced strike pulls it out for the first time in the true grand final set. And right when he needed it to take the tournament, our repeat champion of Tournament Honesty 5, Tournament Honesty 6, Rino takes the tournament.
Yeah, unbelievable. The Yashiro CV, the clean house. We talked about Heidern throughout the entire run, but Yashiro on that point position was just an unreal force, truly an unstoppable force of nature once they got going. And unfortunately for Pako, a lot of his team was just kind of unequipped to sort of deal with curtailing the momentum that Yashiro had, especially when they had Duel On at that point. They tried to work some things around with the team order, just going to different characters, but I mean, just knowing as Rino that the world is your oyster on a character that has to really take a risk on defense, leveraging that in a beautiful way was all the difference there in that grand finals reset.
Yeah, I think really the name of the game across the board is that he's playing against a bunch of characters that struggle versus Yashiro in one way or another. For Dulong, that was pressure. You know, and for Yashiro or for Isla, that was dealing with that up close mix-up opportunities and the reset pressure, kind of forcing that DP because she doesn't have necessarily the quickest buttons to mash out with. That stuff becomes really difficult to play against, and we saw time and time again how often the guard bar became such a big factor in the way that Pako had to move and deal with that. And he had to do things that he didn't want to do, like, you know, anti-air level ones when you are ahead, pretty cool, not a big deal. Anti-air level ones when you're behind and you just need some sort of breathing room, extreme inefficiency with the meter. So it's definitely a big difference in the way that it went down. But that's why this guy is one of the best in North America, and we look to him in terms of showing how good you can get with just confident neutral play and clicking characters that really fit your play style. This guy does press buttons with the best of them. That's why he's your champion.
Yep, so shouts out to Rino, repeat champion, and also shout out to everybody who signed up and competed today, and everybody in chat who showed out for some good old-fashioned KOF action as part of LAX Torneo de la Honestidad number 6. We had a really good time here. Before we get out of here, we do want to remind you of a few things, of course, for some future events. Starting with tomorrow, we have our Fatal Fury City of the Wolves as part of the Tournament of Honesty 6. Winner of that will advance to Just Frame 2026 with a free trip. That's going to be an SWC 2026 qualifier. So that's a very coveted seat indeed that you can win in that bracket tomorrow. Signups are still open, so follow that link that Nightbot's giving you if you want to give yourself a shot at it.
You can get a shot at a tournament in Tijuana, Border Beatdown, happening in April 18th, 19th. The games that you see on your screen, including City of the Wolves, there'll be more added as we go along, but you can register now at borderbeatdown.com.
And of course, finally, we would be remiss if we didn't mention the online weeklies that happen every week here, both Tuesday and Wednesday, for KOF and Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. SNK action abound every single week, twice a week. You got the 8:30 p.m. Eastern time start for KOF, and then 8 p.m. on Wednesday for Fatal Fury with pop bonuses from SNK, and you get to play against the best of the best that you see show up in these very brackets. They get these practice sessions in for these brackets especially. So if you want to be like the best of them, what you saw tonight, this is the first stop. So come on out to Just Frame weeklies for KOF City of the Wolves, or just watch, because you get high octane action like we saw this night every single week.
Yeah, some of the best in North America come to play in these weeklies, and they're free to enter. So you should enter if you're trying to get games against some of the best in North America. If not, you should watch, because it is some of the highest level action you're going to see for these games specifically, which we got more of tomorrow for City of the Wolves. So make sure to leave this channel a follow. You'll know when we go live tomorrow. We'll be around the same time, but that'll be it from us.